What's up, everybody? Oh, shit. What's going on with my microphone? Come on. You can do it. You can do it. There we go. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Happy? Oh, now it's super tight. I can barely even move it. Jesus Christ. Too tight. Oh, my God. Man, it's hard to do these shows every day and like prepare a show every day and be ready. It's like, oh, shit. I got too much shit to do. What's up, everybody? Yeah, so we're going to catch up more on the Epstein files. We're going to see what the latest is. There was a couple of videos. There's one really good one from the body language expert that I think is probably the best breakdown of the Epstein footage. So we're going to watch that. We're going to catch up with the latest, just all the news, man. You know, we can't let this shit just fall by the wayside. We got to keep hammering this. And this might be the last episode for a while where we cover Epstein. We'll move on to other stuff, but I think it deserves one more because I have not covered everything yet. All the fucking commentary, all the news, all that stuff. What's up? What's up, GK Ember Lamps Tech? What's up? Yeah, I can almost see this one is not going to go out for some reason. I could tell right away. You know, YouTube lets you know right away. You could see like the first, same thing when you put out a video, like a not live, you know in 10 minutes whether that video is going to perform well. I can tell you this one for some reason is not going to perform well either. But hopefully people will show up eventually. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's jump to this one. Let's go first to this fucking body language guy. His video was great. And somebody told me about it yesterday, but I hadn't seen it yet. And I looked it up last night. And I'm like, yeah, this is the best breakdown of the footage. So let's get to this one here. Let me pull this up. Give me a second. I got to get some other shit off my screen here. Get back to my fucking YouTube. All right. Yeah, this one's good, dude. I don't know if this guy's... Let me see if this guy's even put out anything else since then. Let me get to it over here. Where was it? Is it right here? Nope, that's not the one. That's the one I watched yesterday. This
the
one.
Department of Justice and the FBI.
Did I watch all 39 minutes? I don't remember it being this long last time I watched it. But this guy does I've never heard of this guy before. The body language guy. He does a fantastic job breaking this down. Let's see if he's got anything new. But I think this is the best one that covers what happened with Epstein.
I ask you the following relevant questions.
What is going on? Why are you jumping to videos? Yeah, that's his last one. Oh yeah, he's got one of Trump and Bondi. All right, we'll get to the one where he covers the video. Because to me, that's the most fascinating part, is that stupid video they released of the jail cell that you can't, of the cell block, outside the cell block that you can't even see. So yeah, this guy, let's watch this. He does a fantastic job. This should have been like the first one I played the other day, but I didn't know about it. So you guys let me know.
FBI released the 11-hour camera footage of the Special Housing Unit, or SHU, where Jeffrey Epstein was being held the night that he offed himself. And we already have a lot of questions, and I will answer every single one of them in this analysis. Questions such
GK, what's
as,
up, everybody?
There were people who went in the SHU but never left, or...
Unstoppable with the gifted membership to GK. Oh, thank you. Did you thank Unstoppable GK? He's always giving out memberships, man. He's Santa Claus up in here. Thank you, Unstoppable.
What is exactly the angle that we are looking at in this video? Not to mention that strange hooded figure that...
That's the one that... This dude, the more I've seen this and then watching this video, I'm really suspicious of this dude in the fucking hoodie. I don't know what it is, but... There's something about this guy that's suspicious as fuck. Especially the fact that you can't see you can see everybody else's face when they go to that door. But he's got a hoodie on and all of a sudden you can't see his face. It really seems like he's got some sort of face mask on. I don't know, but this dude is suspicious as fuck.
Conceal their identity, I don't know if a he or a she, and then got out of the SHU. Strange. Or perhaps one of the most disturbing questions of all. Why is there a full minute missing from the footage that Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, and Pam Bondi said was going to be
2 seconds,
raw
actually.
and unedited? Hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Adults, super chatted $5.
I agree.
The Epstein scandal is Trump's Waterloo.
I agree. This is everybody's, the ball lickers, for lack of a better way to put them. They want to just bury this and be like, "Oh, you guys are so obsessed with Epstein. We got all this other stuff going on." I was like, "No, dude, because this is a big like demarcation line as to is Trump going to go in and actually wage war against these fucking people, against the deep state, or is he going to become a part of it?" And it looks like he's going to become a part of it. And then the other cope is like, well, it would just be too damaging to too many countries and too many people. It would be so. No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if this takes down entire countries. It needs to all come out.
You don't miss any of my body language analysis and tips. Let's get down to
Smash
it.
your thumbs up,
First
guys.
of all,
if you enjoy,
remember that
you want to enjoy the show.
1 month ago, Dan Bongino had already.
I always say if you're enjoying the show, but it's too early to know if you're enjoying it at this point. And most likely, everybody's just mad because I keep interrupting the video. That's all the 99% of responses is like, stop interrupting the video. It's like, no, I'm just gonna keep interrupting the video. This is my show. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna interrupt it as much as I want.
Stated that
it's funny though, people cry about that. It's like, go find the other. Like you have no ability to search the fucking internet to find the video yourself.
There's only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see
they needed time to clean up this video before they could give it to us. This video that's fucking worthless and proves nothing. What did they have to clean up, by the way?
No one there but him.
Yeah, I don't know why it took so long to clean up a video that is going to show nothing, right? And when I say nothing, I will remind you that Kash Patel has said not once but twice that Epstein indeed killed himself.
But there is a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
There are.
The Epstein thing.
I don't think shadow ban's the right term, bro. I think it's more like throttling.
I'm telling you, he killed himself.
Yeah, Kash Patel's not a good liar. For the head of the FBI, he's a terrible fucking liar. Yeah, I don't think I'm shadow banned. I think I'm throttled. I think there are channels that, whatever reason, you fall afoul of the algorithm too many times, and they don't want to give you a lot of distribution. So it's like, yeah, you can exist, you can do your thing, but you're limited. We don't want you having a ton of views on our platform, because then that's when it becomes a problem. And every time I have gotten a ton of views on the platform, it's always become a problem.
So we're already off to a rough start here. And by the way, didn't they say that
but it might change over time
if
I stop making supercuts, because that's where the problem is.
And that is the first question that I will clarify for you right now. To understand the angle of the footage that the Department of Justice and the FBI released, that we need to get our bearings about what is the layout of the special housing unit and Epstein's cell block. So the best way to do this is to look at the map, so to speak, of how it's organized, how the SHU is organized, and it's about 6 cell blocks that are organized in pairs, one on top, one on the bottom.
I know his accent's a little bit annoying, but you can get over it.
You can see one of the cell blocks here, a second one, and the third one, and
yeah, they don't like the
other
supercuts,
part
bro.
of the map. This is
especially when they came up with their
the
altered content
the
bullshit.
Elevators,
they got a million times worse.
They
threw me into the I'm an AI creating fake AI shit. They threw me into that group, and then I'm one of the few people that actually checks altered content on the supercuts, where most people doing AI shit don't even check it. But I check it, and yeah, that probably was a mistake. I probably should have not checked it, but I didn't want to get a strike for not checking it.
To that special floor, that particular floor
it is what it is.
SHU. And in this cell block, on the one on top, you got Epstein's cell.
Epstein. His accent's really annoying, but trust me, this is a good
video.
video.
In yellow will be like the mini hallway
What's up, Mimri?
of that cell block, where you can see
problematic. I am problematic.
The cells themselves. I'm going to show you this picture that will be really illustrative.
So yeah, Epstein's cell, like I've seen this picture before, and I was like, which one is Epstein's cell? Yeah, it's like the first one on the right when you come up the stairs, I think, where it's not even in this photo.
Of this. Remember the space, the yellow space in here? If you stand in front of the cell block, this is what you're going to see right in front of you. I'm going to make sure that you look at everything so you understand where are we sitting. First of all, the first thing that we were talking about, a broken camera, a camera that didn't work. Well, there's one camera at the end of every cell block. And it turns out that that camera is right here at the end, but that camera didn't work.
Yes.
How convenient, right? But well,
it's the one we
it doesn't
needed, bro.
matter. So we know that the footage released by the
I gotta look this up. Do they not have cameras in each jail cell as well? You would think in a prison you would just put cameras in every fucking room, right?
DOJ is not the one from that camera, but because that camera did not work. We see a bunch of doors here. It's important to make a distinction between the doors of the jail cells themselves and the utility and crawl space doors. If you see, for example, this one.
Yeah, 60 seconds was definitely enough time. Problematic Post says he did 3.5 years in prison. Most likely he was walked out in that 62 seconds. Yeah, if you believe that he survived and they're hiding him or whatever, he changed his identity.
The
They could be
underscore
unstoppable.
unstoppable underscore for underscore life super chatted $5. Super chats and gifts till you get there, buddy, when I can. Gotta go to bed though. Stay classy, buddy.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, just catch the video on demand, man, whenever you got time. Yeah, it's very obvious when you watch the people that do leave in the video. A minute is plenty of time for them to walk somebody out, and it's plenty of time. I don't know if a minute's plenty of time to walk someone in, take out Jeffrey Epstein, and then walk them out. But a minute's plenty of time to sneak them out that door. Because, by the way, the door that we're looking at, when you look at that video, that door is the only way in and out of that cell block or whatever, that entire unit.
This door, the 219, you see that there's a window.
They could be unstoppable. In case I
you
forgot.
can see inside.
I didn't want to lose my
the
point.
Inmate can look outside as well.
I was trying to make.
You got this slot to handcuff people safely, and you also have a slot in case that you have to handcuff them in the feet as well. You know, you also have some of them who only have slots for handcuffing the hands. And you also,
by the way, this guy does a great job. I'm sure he'll do more. I got to subscribe. I just found him yesterday. But seriously, go follow this guy, body language guy. This is the best breakdown. He goes into so much detail of how the prison's laid out, and he leaves like no questions unanswered. It's fucking good.
to have these doors, which are pretty much nondescript, like they have nothing. They
not a fan of Palantir spaghetti. Not
like
a fan.
This one. Oh, how interesting. These are the utility or crawl space doors. This one, like here, I marked this in white. You see that there are two jail cell doors, and there's one utility door in the middle. Why? What are these utility doors for? And this is important. These utility doors are because if you need to fix the plumbing or the electricity, or this is important, the ventilation of any of the cells, you want to be able to do that without having to open the cell and having to get the inmate out. You can then just go.
Yeah, problematic pose. This is supposed to be the highest security, fanciest fucking prison. It's a federal prison. Like, there's no higher level security, all that. This is top of the line in every way whatsoever.
Through the utility and
but then I think they were doing some DEI hiring of the people running the cell, the prison, you know, might have been a little DEI involved. So yeah, that's going to lower the quality, obviously.
All space door, and you have access to electricity, plumbing, ventilation system, everything of both of those cells. And you see that there's one utility crawl space door every 2 cells. Very practical. That is part of the design. So now you have.
What are you talking about, Mimri? Jesus Enrique, is he blinded by his love of trumpet?
A very good idea.
Mimri, man, you got to understand, a lot of people support Trump for the right reasons. Like, you can't blame them. I know you're smarter than everybody else, and you know Trump's just a con man and everything else. But a lot of people, you know, they have some hope. And you can't really blame them for wanting to have hope that somebody will fix this. Because then what's the other option? No hope? Complete fucking black pill? But yeah, I get it. You know, anytime you don't vote, Mimri, and you stay out of it and you don't choose a side, it's easy after the fact to be like, oh, you fucking idiots. Oh, you all thought, it's like, yeah, of course. All right, dude, you're right. You're right about everything. You didn't take a side, you didn't vote, and you're the better person.
Yeah, of what was like Jeffrey Epstein's cell block. One thing is that this is taken straight from the document that the FBI released on the investigation of Jeffrey
If
Epstein
only
killing
we had
himself.
that fucking camera.
And
dude.
by the way, Epstein's cell is a 2020 and it's off screen. It was maybe cropped in purpose, but that, Kash Patel and Pam
Jesus, I missed the fucking pause. What if they're lying about that camera being down? What if the camera was actually working the whole fucking time and they just don't want to give us that footage, so they say the camera's down? Because didn't they say all cameras are down, and then all of a sudden we do get one camera? And it just happens to be the one camera that proves fucking nothing? I wouldn't be surprised if the whole fucking thing about the cameras being down is all a lie.
They said was going to be raw and unedited. Hello, welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my body language analysis and tips. Let's get down to it.
All right. Hate when I do. I try to hit pause and then I hit the fucking video instead. Where are we at? Yeah, so this is the stairs. Remember, this is so you can tell like how much you can see of the stairs because you don't see I think you see just the edge of the black from the video. So this is the only from like the edge of this black right here is the only part of the stairs you actually see, and that's evidence. That's evidence of
Jeffrey
nothing.
Epstein's cell block, which was on top and was the L tier. Right there, you see, that was Jeffrey Epstein's cell block. It's a bit hard to spot, but this is also important. There's a gate here. You see that there's
a gate.
These bars, this gate that is open right now. There's a gate to access the cell block after the staircase. There's a staircase that goes up and one that goes down. The exact same thing, but Jeffrey Epstein was on top. So far, so good, right? We move on, and this is the view from the officer's desk, the officer's station. Here's where they sat down and maybe take it easy. You can rest. There's a mini fan in there and maybe a telephone. All right, and from that, I'm going to go here.
So yeah, the guards sitting there could see his cell door the whole time.
This is the officer's desk. You see that, oh, what a coincidence, that they had Epstein's cell right in front of them. I mean, I think there was the only cell that they had right in front of them sitting here. This is the officer's station. You just had to, it's like raise your gaze, and you had right there, jail cell 2020, Jeffrey Epstein's cell. Again, we move on, and this is the other angle. This could be from Jeffrey Epstein.
You love it when he says video. Yeah, I grew up, my aunt was not good with English. Her first language was Spanish. And it used to be so funny to me because she would always say, I'm going to wash the TV. Instead of watch, it would be, I'm going to wash the TV. But then when she would go to talk about washing her clothes, it would be watch all of a sudden. I'm going to watch my clothes. She would always get it backwards. I'm going to watch my clothes and I'm going to wash my TV. Dude, learning a second language is not easy.
Epstein's cell looking down into
we just started,
the
P-Money. You
officer's
missed nothing.
Station. You see,
Welcome,
now
P-Money.
you can see very
Gabriel, how you
clearly
doing, bro?
the gate that had access, that granted
It's a terrible
access
cover
to
up,
the cell
Gabriel.
block. I really want you to understand where are we sitting here, because when you see this video, when the first moment I saw this video, I had already started all this many months ago when I began studying the Jeffrey Epstein case. So when I saw the footage released from the DOJ, I was lost. I mean, what is this? This doesn't look like a cell block. This doesn't look like the real thing. Where are we? And what is this 46 in here? I don't get.
So yeah, I think he talks about this later because I did watch this video, so I'll save you having to wait. This is the only way in. Oh, sorry, gotta move it over here. This door, I did this yesterday too. I was over here on the wrong screen thinking you guys could see my cursor. This is the only door in and out of this whole area. So I guess that's their proof is like, oh, we know who came in and out. Well, actually, there's a dude who comes in and out multiple times who's fucking covered up completely. You can't even see his face. It's so, to me, like, that's a smoking gun there. The dude with the fucking hoodie, you can't see his face. And then you got people coming in and out who aren't even dressed in guard uniforms. What?
Get it. So there's one way, very easy way to understand, and I mark it for you. You remember the location of Epstein's cell. You
That's the
remember the
door.
location of the officer station. Well, the angle of the camera that we are about to analyze comes from the exact opposite corner of the shoe. There's the officer
shoe.
station. The opposite corner is right here. And here's the camera of the video that we're going to analyze. So much, that's how important is to understand where are we standing. That is very important. And that's how you see these tiny things. Maybe you don't know how to read maps, but these tiny things that look
It's a door, dude. We get it.
looks like shark fins are doors that open and the way that they open. And
you don't
this
understand that's a
one
door,
that I'm marking
we can't
here,
help you.
it's going to be easier if you look at this. See this way, okay, is the door marked 46. And that is the only way of getting in and out the shoe floor.
This guy's been covering this like for a long time. So he knows all the details already.
That is going to be really important from now on. So try to remember
Really
that.
important.
Door 46 is the only way of going in and out. So we are there. There's the camera. So when we take a look at it again, and here, all right, we see the angle. What is the angle? This angle I have marked in yellow. You see that there's like two 45-degree angles or something like that. And door 46 is in the middle. And now you see the footage.
Bumpy Johnson. He says this dude ate a man's liver with some fava beans. There is something kind of a little bit. I get what you're saying. I get a little bit of a weird impression from this guy, but it might be the glasses and the really short hair. He's so clean cut,
Oh, now we understand where are we. There's door 46. There's the angle, and what is right here at the far end. You guess it right. If you guess it, well, congratulations. This is the officer's station. If you can make that out, that is important. Again, I thought that it was really, really critical to understand the angle so we can understand everything that happens from now on.
Yeah, he's a preppy Latino.
And before we move forward, let me see. All right. It's important to understand. This is critical. That, okay, can we actually see Epstein's cell block from here? And if you see the officer station, okay.
So you see the stairs. You see how those stairs had that black line, right? I think you can see just maybe a little bit of the black line here. That's all of the stairs you get. Like maybe, I don't know, 1/10 of the entire stairs you can see, the very left side of it. And to me, every time I go upstairs, I'm right-handed. So when I go upstairs, I tend to go up on the right side. So I can use the right side railing. It's just, don't even think about it. It's the way you do it. And I'm guessing left-handed people would go up the left side. Maybe not 100%, but I think most of the time people kind of do it like that.
Okay, this looks like a mess of desks and computers. That is the officer station. I think there's a person
3% of the
standing
staircase.
here in this screenshot. You see that there is some kind of teeth. You see this teeth? Like some vertical teeth in here? Those are the staircases to go up to L tier cell block, Epstein's cell block. And you can see,
1%?
You can see for yourself that from our angle, from the 11-hour footage of this camera angle, you can see only a sliver of those stairs.
I think you can see a little bit of the black, and that's it.
If you can, maybe you can lean to the other side. You can go up and down without being seen by this camera. Again, that is going to be important later on. If it's too hard to spot, I'm sorry about the zoom in and zoom out. That is the access to Epstein's cell block. That is what's going on in the footage that we are going to analyze. Is that crazy? And just in case, for the record, this is also from the document of the FBI. Jeffrey Epstein's cell is 220, and just in case, this is going to be important for some of you. Oh, all this says that these photographs have been modified for privacy reasons. The only way that the photographs that you have seen, for example, the photographs of the staircases, they say that they have modified them in the document of the FBI It's only to blur ways to identify officers.
Once again, just so, in case you missed it, this little part right here to where it meets the black is the only part of the stairs you can see. And you barely can see that. It's all blurry and it's like way in the back of the fucking camera, so where you can barely see it. But that's it. And this is our proof. This is our proof that nobody went up those stairs. Being able to see from here, from here to here. That's it. And that's our proof that nobody went up the stairs. Okay.
Or
no, it's
or
not going
turns
away,
or
Joyd.
anything. But this is
No
the
one's going to
structure.
drop this.
This is the
dude.
real deal. So that is important. Keep that in mind.
I think it's going to get so bad that just like with Iran, people think Iran, it was Trump's plan the whole time. No, I think he started fucking around with regime change and he had a huge backlash and people told him, hey, we can't, this is going to ruin your whole legacy. And I think that's why he backed down from it all of a sudden. I could be wrong, but I think if you put that kind of pressure on Trump again, maybe he will, maybe something will be done. Will be like, God, this is a disaster. We gotta really dig deep.
Spocko super chatted
give them more information.
99 cents. That prison is worse than Arkham Asylum.
It's a good game. It's a good game. They haven't made any Batman games in a while, huh? I used to like that game.
So we move to the actual analysis, and I guess the best way to start the analysis is to see the last time Jeffrey Epstein was seen alive. I think it's fair, right? And we know that this is the last time that Jeffrey Epstein was seen alive because the timer marks 7:49 p.m. And according to the document, the full investigation of the FBI, that was the time that Jeffrey Epstein was seen alive one last time. And I'm going to just play this. Maybe we can play this in real time. You see two officers walking this inmate in orange. You see the only way that we can semi-confirm that this is Epstein is that, well, his hair was white. We know that his hair has always been white and all.
I don't know. His accent's kind of rubbing off on me. I'm starting to like it. It's cute.
The pictures. We know that the guy was alive, or at least that's what we think. We think that was Jeffrey Epstein being led to his cell at 7:49 p.m. that night. The only other thing relevant that happened before that was this lady entering through gate 46. Remember that this is the only gate, the only way to go in and out of the shoe is through gate 46. And we're seeing right now an officer using the phone. You see a phone on the wall. That's the way that you communicate with the officers outside that can open this door. This door can only be opened from the outside. She leaves like a trash bin right there. She
the
waits
Midwest
until
super chatted $5. Black pillars devastated after daring to have a glimmer of hope.
A lot of people are getting black pilled, so you know the people who already black pilled, well, they're gonna have plenty of company.
The door is open in a minute. It's gonna be really quickly. Let's speed things up. Just for the record, remember this is 7:46. You can always see the timer in the lower left corner. This is before Jeffrey Epstein was seen alive the last time. The door is open from the outside and this female officer goes out with a trash bin through gate 46. So which other event do we have? Where does the wacky stuff begin? We have then 7:56. I'm gonna play this way. Maybe in twice the speed. I'm going to play this as twice the speed because these details are not as important for now. But you see that there are actually people going in and out. And Kash Patel said that there's no way anybody could go in and out. And at least so far, so good. It's an officer, right? Should be no big deal, right? And we also have other moments. This moment is going to be important because one inmate at 8:16 p.m. I think that he was collaborating with the cleanup, and he dropped these two trash bags, not in the trash bin, but to the side. This is going to be important because someone is going to pick those bags later on, and that someone who's going to pick those bags is important. We move on. We continue. Now we are at 9:07 p.m. and one officer, what is he doing? Oh, he is given some kind of secret paper, or I don't know, schedule, or some kind of folder.
Is that normal in a prison that the guards, like, they just pass shit under the door, don't even bother handing it off? I mean, it would make sense, I guess, if it's a pain in the ass to constantly open that door, you just slip it through underneath the door.
Right below the door, they don't open the door, they just slide maybe an envelope, maybe it's some kind of random paper, maybe some kind of document that he needs for the shift. He goes to the door, he doesn't touch the phone because he's not going to request to open the door, gets the folder, and okay, no big deal. Now, what happens now at 9:11? Guy that looks like a maintenance, he doesn't look like an officer, grabs the phone, asks for permission to get out.
Brian Mahoney super chatted $10. Yo ping. It's me again, your dad. I come in peace this time. What's your workflow for editing? Just Adobe Suite? Are you using any 3D software to generate the arms/hand with guns? Thank you.
Well, yeah, the only thing that I don't use 3D Suite. I used to use, just before AI could do it, I just used to fucking basically take an image of a gun on a green screen background. And you would need a shot of like Joe pretending like he's got a gun. That always makes it easier. And I would just, mask that gun to the hand frame by frame. But now you have AI, and there's a great Chinese AI, Halio or whatever, that has like very little censorship. So you can put a gun in Rogan's hand and have him fire it. So yeah, the one with Kim Congdon and the one with Lex Fridman and Jordan Peterson, those endings are done with AI. Just the endings though, because it just, to me, it takes the endings to another level. The special effects you can do, because people go, oh, it's AI. It really is just special effects at this point. I could create it old school style and it would look like shit, or I could use AI and make it look good. So yeah, I use AI for the special effects, basically.
Yes, that there's a camera.
Yeah, everything else is done in Adobe Premiere, all the editing.
I guess that there has to be at least one camera working to see who requests to go out, right? You have to see, if you're going to open the door from outside, who is...
I've used a lot of them, Gabriel, but Halio, I forget, it's the Chinese one. It's like Hallyu or something. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce it, but that's the one I've been using lately, because the guardrails aren't there. Like with other ones, you have to you can't get them to generate guns and shit.
Super chatted $5. Thanks. Love you. Even though we have our differences.
Well, that's a nice chat, Jeff. Brian, it's nice to see somebody not get triggered over the fact that I have different opinions. That's nice. Thank you, Brian.
Requesting.
Most people can't do that these days.
For this to open. So maybe they are looking through this
That's not
camera
Huawei.
That we are
Halio or something.
Right now.
Here.
It makes...
Here, I'll show you guys. Since y'all are interested, Hallyu AI. Hallyu AI. Yeah, it's maybe they've changed it since then. I don't know. Well, now you guys all know my email address. That's nice. I don't know if they can change it. If they've changed it yet, but last time I used it, there's no problem putting guns in people's hands and making them shoot, which is all the other AIs have a problem with that. But with this one, it's good too. The quality of it's pretty fucking good. But yeah, there's less censorship on this one. Hallyu AI. Hallyu AI. Whatever. God bless China.
Makes sense, right? You have a clear view
when it comes to
of
AI,
whoever is asking for permission to get out. So he has the ability to get out. We can play this at twice the speed. No big deal. And then the same guy enters annoying. Again. At what time?
It's why do you have to pop up and show my fucking email? Because I'm not signed in. You're going to pop. What the fuck was that about? Anyway, it's not a big deal. I barely check my email anyway. But if you want to email me properly, go to contactpinktrip@gmail.com. Okay.
Don't
email my personal
and
email.
He goes in again at 9:15. No big deal. We still have We still have some strange stuff. We see another, I don't know if it's another female officer or if
So
it's
now we're
the
at 9
same
o'clock.
female officer that we saw a while ago asking for.
So again, according to what I researched, he died sometime between 4:30 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. But I don't think you can really be 100% with that. To me, he could have died any time from the last time he's seen, which is supposedly 10 something o'clock, and 6:30 a.m. Any time, like at this point, he could have, no, because I think at 10 o'clock, supposedly he goes up the stairs, according to that CoffeeZilla video. And then I think even the DOJ saying the last time he was seen was 10 o'clock when he was locked in his cell, 10:40, something like that.
Permission to get out or to leave. They open the door in a minute. This is at twice the speed. And she goes away. And then she enters again at 9:32. No big deal. Maybe it was just a bathroom break. I guess that they did not, the officers don't have bathrooms in there, inside that bar. Now, this is
P Money. He's got 100. Dude, I haven't deleted emails in like 15 years. You know, there's a point in your life where you go, is it worth all the fucking time it takes to constantly be deleting emails? No, I'll just, because again, I might need something that came in 10 years ago. I'll let Gmail just delete shit as it wants to delete it, as like there's no more space or whatever. How much time of my life have I saved not fucking going through and deleting emails? Who gives a fuck? Let it be 20,000 fucking unread emails. I don't care.
thing. This is one.
Who has the time for that shit?
I think this is the greatest red flag of all this video. Of the 11 hours of this video. This
Pork
is
chops,
hands
Happy Days.
down
Eat some pork chops.
one of the most
Get some garlic butter
concerning red
and some
flags.
pork chops.
This video is not
Good
continuous.
stuff.
This video was spliced, was cut. And how do we know? Because there's 1 full minute missing from the footage that we were promised that will.
No, it'll delete the old ones. You don't have to delete them, P Money. Anything that all the old shit will just automatically get deleted. I've never had that problem. It doesn't get full and say, well, you can't receive. I don't know. Maybe it does, but I've never seen that happen. What I see is like after a certain amount of time, the oldest emails will just, they'll be automatically deleted.
Will be a continuous footage, continuous video without interruption, without editing. How do we know? Keep an eye here on the timer. It says 11:58:50 p.m. right? And
Do we have the client list, J-Hold? I know we have a black book. A black book to me is, I mean, it is evidence. You can go through and go, okay, who was he in contact with, et cetera, et cetera. Hopefully cell phone records, you can see who he was talking to. But a black book is not a client list. A black book is a contact list. It's basically what old people used to do, and I guess people still do it. You know, they keep track of all their names, all the people they know, the numbers, addresses, emails, all that, you know. So I don't know if that's not a client list technically. Although if it was, it could have been a client list that was hiding under being just a contact list. But yeah, I think people are too excited about the black book, to be honest.
we go 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and we guess that we're going to see 11:59, right? That minute, so close to midnight. 5 seconds to go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, what happened? What happened in there? We're here. I'm going to do that again. 11:58, 55 seconds p.m. You never get to 11:58, 59 seconds and you just jump. I'm going to zoom in case you miss it, because this is proof that this video was tampered with in one way or another. There you are. 11:58:58 jumps to straight to 12 a.m. At some point I thought, okay, maybe it's a glitch of the system. Maybe it shaves off 1 minute, but it's strange that it was not just one.
That's what it's there for, Ethan Pill. It's there to wake everybody up when I get too boring. Then you send me a super chat. Joe screams at everybody. Everybody wakes up and we're back. Yeah, I can turn it down. Is it too loud? The alert? I can turn it down.
Exact minute was 1 minute and 2 seconds. So that is strange in itself. And the other thing that's maybe the system, let's play devil's advocate here. Maybe the system splices the video itself when there's a change from one day to the other. That is a possibility. But then why does the frame, and by the frame I say, look at how the size and the orientation of the frame is going to change. I'm going to rewind this again, so you're going to see how it jumps. 5, 4, 3, 8.
You know what that reminds me of? Sometimes you you change when you have some footage, you'll zoom it in, crop it differently, manipulate it digitally to zoom in on this spot or whatever. And then you have another cut of that same footage that you didn't digitally zoom or change in any way. And then you forgot to match it. Right? Like what I would do in that situation, if I have one clip and then I zoom that clip in because I want it more cropped in, but then I have another clip and I want that to match, then I have to completely match the settings of, how zoomed in is. Usually it's easy. You just copy the other clip, you hit copy, and then you paste the motion or whatever, and it'll be exact. But that's what it seems like. Like it's almost an edit, and they forgot to match the how zoomed in it was in the first clip in the edit. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain, but if you've edited before, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Now it's smaller. First it was bigger, and now it's smaller. And eagle-eyed body language bodies would have noticed that in the upper right corner.
And somebody else talked about this. This little thing showed up, and he thinks it's a play. It's an edit. This is not an editing. To me, this is basically the camera control. And I don't know, maybe it's up, down, left. Maybe you can actually move the camera. It could be up, down, left, right. But I don't think this has anything to do with editing. I think this is somebody, I think they're filming this footage. I don't think they just downloaded the video. I think they filmed this with the camera. So they're filming the monitor. And that's why this shows up. Because somebody said earlier they're familiar with this system. And if they had just downloaded the video, this would not have showed up. This will only show up because he's actually recording the footage off the monitor. I don't think this has anything to do with editing, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but why would a system like this have some sort of editing thing up here? To me, this is probably something to maybe change the orientation of the camera, up, down, left, right. Or I don't know. But I don't think it has anything to do with editing. I could be wrong.
Of this video, something appeared that hasn't appeared in any other point of the video so far. What is this? This absolutely looks like a menu of a video editing app. You see the usual, what looks like, the...
Super Spurg, you've been here a while. You're still doubting whether John is... I swear to God, this is the last time I'm going to say this. I have seen John's Facebook page. Okay? He has years of autistic posting that goes back years. And I have familiarity because I dated a chick a long time ago who had a very, very severely autistic family member. And I became friends with him on Facebook, and he would send me the weirdest shit. It would be 7-Eleven, like it. Like he would just like random businesses and then send you an invite to like that business. And he did that all day long. That's all he did. So, to think he's faking it or is a fake, the dude has years of posting like this. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what his Facebook page is because John needs his privacy. But I guess it's just a trust me type thing at this point, guys. But damn, every time I look at the chat, everybody's talking about John. John, you're very popular. You're very popular in here, John.
Backwards, this looks like the fast forward will be like the two edges of two arrows with it looks like a menu or a menu of some kind. This looks like a pause button. All right. And it is odd, right? Because this should have why is there a menu of a video editing app
See, I don't think it's a video editing app. I think it's a camera control options. I wouldn't be surprised, if you had this camera and this is how they're monitoring who's coming into the door and they're monitoring the floor and all that. You could probably move it left to right, up, down, all that.
or any app going inside this. And you know what is the worst part? The worst part of this, the most concerning part, I'm going to tell you what is the most concerning part. I lost my bearing.
It matters in Sigma because everybody comes in here and accuses him of being a bot. Right? It's like, there's two possibilities here. He's a bot or he's got autism. So yeah, you know, he's autistic. So it's not his fault. He types like a bot. That's just, you know, it's part of what he deals with in life. It's the way he communicates. There's nothing wrong with it, but, you know, I just would like people to stop picking on him. That's all. You know?
Because there's so much stuff.
Because again, he doesn't really understand humor. If you haven't figured that out yet. So when you make a joke and you think you're being friendly and like you would with a normal person who would go, ah, ha, 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 that don't work with John. You just get him upset.
Here happening.
But shout out, John. Hope you're doing good, brother.
Help you
Ignore
see
the chat.
that this was happening from 11:24 p.m. on the marker. I'm going to fast forward back and forth, and you see that at many times the menu of this video editing software.
At a certain point, you guys have to trust me. I'm telling you, he's not a bot. He's a real boy that has severe autism. Okay, you got to trust me, or am I going to lie to you about it? I had all my suspicions at first, just like the rest of you. And then he messaged me on Facebook, and I saw his Facebook page, and there's no suspicions about it whatsoever anymore. Unless he's somebody who committed years and years and years of his life to pretending to be autistic, okay?
Was just popping up. 11:55 p.m.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Y'all talk about John every time I look at the comment section. I'm trying to talk with the chat. Every time I look at the comment section, it's all John, 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 John. So what the fuck am I supposed to do?
5 p.m. was there. And then, you know what is crazy? After it changes to the next day to 12 a.m., remember that there's 1 minute missing? The video editing app menu.
See, now he's hurt again. This is what I'm saying. This is the cycle every fucking time.
Never.
John, don't be hurt, John. You're good, bro. You're good.
Appears again.
You're too John, the problem is you're too popular, dude. You're too popular. What happens when you become a famous guy, John?
That's odd, right?
You know?
That is
it's the downside of being famous.
Huge red flag. That is a huge red flag. The video has been tampered with. The video is edited, and not only with contrast and lighting. No, we wanted to edit the video. No. It is in every version that minute is missing. And you have already seen that it's quite easy for anybody to go out the shoe where Jeffrey Epstein was being held.
John will be all right. He needs to, sometimes he's got to take breaks because he gets triggered by the comments, by the chat.
In 1 minute.
He'll be back. John, you know, take a break if you need to, John. But I'm going to try to stop talking about you, John. It just brings negative attention. I know. But damn, every time I look at the chat, it's just all everybody talking about John.
Super chatted $2. Pink TR1P is a solid dude for standing up for John.
Well, thank you, Midwest Request. I don't really know how to handle it, to be honest. I don't know what's the best thing to do for John. I don't know. So it's like, I'm not an expert in this shit either. I just want him to be able to enjoy the show and not be, you know, not have any, you know, issues like, because it's I know enough about autism to know, like, you know, the things they could be triggered by shit, you know?
Go up the stairs, press the button on the phone, and you go out, and nobody will know. Nobody would know. How interesting, right? Before we move forward, remember to download my free 100 body language tips right in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. So we move forward. We have
That's a good ad. That's a quick ad. It's quick, short, moves right on.
Strange things, even more strange things. You haven't seen nothing yet. And we see this case shortly after that video splicing at 12:01. Another guard trying to and this one they
thank you, Hypnodio. It's spelled John.
Audio stream super chatted $1.99. It's spelled John.
That's correct. That's correct. Thank you for the $2.
For a long time, I'm gonna play this as 4x speed because they held him really long. He leaves the door open. He then shuts the door and then come back at 12 of no. This is the guy that I wanted. This is the guy that I wanted to show you that doesn't make sense in any way. This guy, like minutes after this officer leaves, there's this big guy, okay, dressed.
Yeah, this guy's sus as fuck too. The first time I saw him, I was like, why isn't he wearing his uniform? He's just dressed in regular ass clothes. And there's a possibility when I see the guy that comes out with the hoodie who you can't see his face, it might actually be this guy. It might be him. But let's see. Maybe he's just, I can't say that. It's probably racist, but you know, he's a lovely black gentleman who's got a dark complexion, and sometimes their faces don't show up too well on camera. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, we'll keep watching.
Nothing like an officer. He's got like a jacket and a cap or something. He goes in. All right, this is gonna be important. He goes in. He grabs the 2 trash bags. You remember the 2 trash bags that the inmate had put in there and not in the trash bin? Or maybe they're not trash bags. Maybe it's their laundry. It looks more like laundry. I'm going to correct myself right now. This looks more like a laundry, dirty laundry. And he shoves the dirty laundry away and gets in to something, another bag of dirty laundry, shoves.
So you would think by the time he's in the fucking whole, I don't know if you call this the block, the shoe or whatever. I think each little section is called the block, and this is the whole shoe. You would think by the time a guard gets to this part, they would already have their uniform on and not be dressed in civilian clothes. But maybe I'm wrong.
It outside. Maybe tell somebody something. Make sure to close the door and enters.
Yeah, this is the David Lucas guy. Somebody said yesterday this is David Lucas. It could be. It could be David Lucas. He needs to come out and confirm or deny if this is him.
Most likely, this big guy with this jacket and this cap, maybe he was an officer that is going to get dressed like when he arrived at the shoe. But they don't. Do they have lockers or something? Wouldn't that be easier to leave your belongings like in some other space? Remember that they had plenty of space on that area that should be another group of cell blocks.
Look, I'm not dissing the black guy. It's just a reality that black people, especially ones with a dark complexion compared to light complexion people, they have to be lit differently. Like if you're filming a movie, your lighting has to be completely different because, you know, not everybody shows up the same way because of our skin color. So that's not a put down. That's just giving you guys context that will help you be more informed.
But I don't know. But those are my the thing that I'm thinking. And by the way, why would an officer take care of the dirty laundry? Maybe it's no big deal, right? But why didn't the maintenance guy that left before do that? Questions. I'm just asking questions here. Maybe it's no big deal. Maybe it's not a problem. But now we arrive at 1 a.m. And at 1 a.m. you must have noticed that I included the same timer that we have in
Ethan Pill, I'm saying that if you ever were to film a movie or direct a movie, you would have to light people differently based on their complexion.
the corner. We need the timer up in here.
And that's why with this lighting, some people you can see their face and some people you can't. Would be my guess.
Because
There's one guy, I swear he's wearing a mask. You can't see his face at all.
I'm going to play this. I'm going to scrub just past this very fast. Because from 1 a.m. and like 1 hour and a half, there was almost no movement. I'm going to play this, okay? There was one officer walking right there. And I keep moving this. I'm going to try to speed things up.
I think what they will try to tell us is that, yes, you only see this side of the stairs, but the reality is if anybody was to come up these stairs, you would see them walking right through here. You'd see them walking like this. But if somebody knows this camera is working and they're trying to avoid the camera, then they would come down this way and then turn around and come up the right side, right? So I guess you get some information, you know, from seeing this amount of stairs and like all of this space here, but Because no one, I guess nobody could come from here. They'd all have to come from here, down here, and then over to here. But then, you know, they could walk. God damn it. Do I got this? Yeah, okay, good. They could walk this way like that guy just did. But then as soon as they're out of camera, turn around and come up. But I know, that's a little far-fetched.
It's going to be too slow. I just want to show you how maybe this one was one of those times where the officers doze off or were, you know, taking a quick nap, because you see how the timer is moving, but we see no movement whatsoever. The only movement that we see is from the compression of the video. There's somebody sitting at the officer's desk, at the officer's station, but they're not.
Yeah, I don't think you can prove that they were sleeping by this, because you can't see shit. The guy could be on his phone. He could be fucking watching a movie. I mean, yeah, you can't see any movement. So this could be the point which they were sleeping, which we've been told that they were asleep. But this video is not, it's too fucking blurry to be able to use this as evidence of when they're sleeping or not.
Not moving. And even if you were checking your phone or looking at the laptop computer or at the computer, you would be moving in some way.
I don't know. You can't even make out who the fuck is who down here. It's so blurry. You can't make shit out. It's like, is this a guy sitting facing this way, or is he facing that way? Is this a guy? Who knows? It's just, I don't know. Maybe he's right, but it's so blurry. I don't think you can take anything from that.
And no, whoever is in there is not moving. Maybe I'm mistaken, but from what I've seen, we're already at 1:23, 24. Gonna go a bit faster. We are almost at 2 a.m. in the morning and no movement whatsoever. Make sure that I don't skip any. No. Maybe we could say, maybe I could say that there's a blob moving in there, but they haven't. They are sitting and they haven't moved much for a good part of an hour. Are 2 officers in there sitting? Maybe it's 2 of them. Again, the quality of the video, there are some part of the, sorry about this, the quality of the video doesn't allow for much detail. But it's not until much later that I could detect that they were actually doing the rounds. And much later, I mean I'm going to jump all the way to 3 a.m. Yeah, all the way to 3 a.m. Again, maybe you can take the footage. By the way, the complete footage, the 11 hours, I'm going to upload them to my Crime Corner True Crime channel. I'm going to leave that link in the description as well. So I didn't...
Should I stream tomorrow and we stream the whole 11 hours? Let's stream all 11 hours, guys. That would be the greatest stream ever.
See much movement until 3 a.m. Even if they were just sitting and chatting 2 hours without, you know, standing up.
I think every hour they're supposed to do their rounds and just look in the fucking cells. So, yeah, I mean, clearly these guards are either purposely not doing their job, or this is an everyday thing where they just do as little as possible to get a paycheck, which is pretty normal across the board.
And walking a bit, I think it's way too much. I think it's, I don't know, what's odd. Now we have a change because at 3:15 a.m., an officer, I think it's the female officer, yeah, the female officer decides to maybe a bathroom break. I'm going to play this as 4x speed. All right. And notice that she's wearing a jacket, by the way. She's wearing something that looks...
Shit, this looks like the jacket that other dude was wearing. So she takes his... I don't know, maybe he was making moves on her. It's like, you want my sweater, my lady?
Like a jacket.
Ooh, you got a fat ass.
It might look like the jacket of the big guy that entered.
She's too big for me, man. I know, you know, black guys don't mind, but for me, I don't like big girls, man. I like a nice, tight, small ass, not a gigantic ass. That's just me, though. Each their own.
And then she enters again 2 minutes later. Bathroom break.
Like to take on an ass like that, it would be too much. I wouldn't be able to handle it, dude.
No big deal. I guess
you need that big black fucking python to be able to handle a woman like this. My little white fucking snake ain't doing shit to her.
He goes out again at 3:43 a.m. right? I play this at 4x speed, and then she goes in again at 3:51. Again, maybe another bathroom break. And now there's this woman that I had never seen, that we can only guess that she has been here all this time, since after the video began, since after Jeffrey Epstein was sent to his cell. This woman who doesn't look like an officer, she asks to get out. Where did she come from? And what was she doing when the other officers were maybe sleeping or sitting on the officer station? I don't know. That is odd. I told you there are going to be strange things in here. And now we are at 4:16 in the morning. 4:16 in the morning, and another moment in which there's going to be a huge chunk of time. I'm going to play this really fast. There's some moments that my software is failing. Maybe it's not 11 hours. I'm tired, boss. 11 hours of footage, please. Have mercy. There can be some movement at 4:23. I think there's some.
Look, I got an average, I've lost weight. It actually, my penis is actually looking pretty good these days, guys. But it ain't black guy penis. It'll never be black guy penis. It'll always be white guy penis. And white guy penis, we struggle to handle the big women like you guys do. And that's just, it's just physics, all right?
Some movement. You see here, right? There's a blob that barely moves right there. Okay, we can assume that they're moving. I'm going to zoom out and play this fast, but trying to not that as fast. There's also another.
Not demonetized now, Chase. The way YouTube works, they won't demonetize this unless it ends up, for some reason, getting picked up by the algorithm and then getting a ton of views. And then they'll demonetize it. That's always how they work.
Another flash of a blob in
I think they just saved themselves the trouble and were like, well, just stop letting him get a ton of views and then we won't have to review his shit.
Here, but they're basically not moving. They're right there at the station. And at some point, there's no flash, no movement, no nothing. They must be taking a nap. 4:30 in the morning. Let's see how much. Okay, we are close. Remember that Epstein was found at 6:30 something in the morning.
Yeah, Colt, see, he says, too bad those big ladies probably make the best cookies. I wish I was into big girls. I wish, man. My life would be so much easier if I was into big girls. It would. I mean, Jesus Christ. It'd be great. But, God made me the way God made me.
So we are just 2 hours away of they realizing that something.
Hey, Andrew, it's much bigger than 4 inches, okay? 4 inches. Get out of here, Andrew.
Gone terribly wrong.
You're 4 inches. Jesus Christ. I'm not 4 inches.
He offed himself. Again,
it's a little bigger.
No movement whatsoever.
I'm definitely a little more than average, okay? Whatever that is.
5 a.m.
I haven't looked up the number in a while.
And at 5:27, we have a bit of a movement. What do we have at 5?
Stop talking about my penis. How dare you?
In the morning. This is something that the female officer is going out again. We can play this at, twice the speed. He gestures and she goes in, but there's a figure. There's a strange.
This guy.
Hooded figure there.
See this, the body shape is very similar to the other guy that came in with the sweater. But it could be somebody different. But this is the most suspicious thing of all of this. Besides, the minute missing, that's suspicious. But this is really suspicious. This guy, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just his face. You can't see his face. It's just, I don't know.
Yes. Who is this? This person, who I assume is a female.
Why do you assume it's a female? That looks like a dude to me. Just looks like an overweight dude.
And is wearing a hoodie.
It's not a female. That does not look like a female at all.
Is going out at 5:38 in the morning. And
the timing of this, by the way, he's probably dead at this point, Epstein.
Haven't seen her. I assume that it's a she. going in at no point of the night since Jeffrey Epstein was walked to his cell.
Okay, so there's no video of this guy coming in. There's just video of him leaving right now.
And you cannot make out.
I'm telling you, doesn't it look like he's got something on his face? His nose looks like it's kind of pushed in, like he's got like a tight mask or something. You know, like in the old movies where the bank robbers would wear like those pantyhose over their face. I don't know. Maybe that's just, you know, it's hard to tell. It's all fucked up. You know, it's all pixelated and all that, so it's hard to tell. But it is strange how instead of seeing a face, it's just a black shadow.
Her features. I
It's a
think
dude.
it's a hoodie that she's wearing or something that is covering. And
Nah, that's a dude. The way he managed, the way he did that, that's a dude. That's not a woman at all.
there's no way of looking at her face or identifying her. Quite strange, right? We never
Why does he keep saying it's a her? What makes him think it's a her? Just because she's fat? It's not a woman. That is definitely a dude, and I would say it's probably a black dude, but I could be wrong.
saw her going in. We move forward. You get my bearings again. There's so much stuff in here. And there's this officer going in. Let's the timing. Let's get the timing right. At 5:38, the strange hooded figure goes out, and almost immediately after, like simultaneously, an officer comes in. That is important. It's simultaneous. There's no editing here. The hooded figure goes out. The officer comes in. And then that same officer, 10 minutes
I don't see long hair. I see a hoodie. You can't see any hair. There's a hoodie. I mean, we'll see him again.
later, goes out with a bag on his left hand. He requests
Odd, because this is the time he's probably already dead at this point. So,
to go out, and there's going to be a long time. He's going to be held there for a long time. I think it's the longest time they're going to hold him in there before opening the door. We are less than 1 hour from Jeffrey Epstein being
Tech super
found.
chatted $6.76. Can't sleep. This is more interesting.
no, I'm glad to help you out there, Tech. Maybe I'll try to make it really boring so you can fall asleep as you watch. Shout out, Tech. Thank you for the 5.
Dead.
Or the 7.
Hasn't been going to play this at 4x, but yeah, he was waiting here for a lot. He grabs the phone again, and then he does something with the trash bin that nobody has touched. He takes a bag from that trash bin, okay? He checks something. He still has the bag that he was carrying now in his right hand, and then he like fixes the bag. And
He doesn't even fix the bag. He just, at first I thought maybe he's checking to see if there's trash in there and he'll just throw it out right now. But then if you were doing that, you would at least put the bag back right. So that is weird. It's weird, almost like he doesn't know what to do. And he's trying not to look suspicious. And he's like, oh, let me just play with this fucking trash bag.
and he goes out with the same bag. There was no reason to fix that bag, but he did. And one last
And
thing.
here comes, okay, here comes this dude again. Let's see. I want to pause it.
Reason to
There's a
fix that
spot where
bag,
like, it feels like you
but
could
he
see his
did.
face a little bit.
And
This is a dude. No woman walks like this. This guy's got the mannerisms of a dude.
one last
Look, this is not how a woman walks, guys. There's no way this is a woman. I think you could see.
thing before Jeffrey
It seemed like you could see a
Epstein
little
was
bit of his face for a
found
split second.
dead. This strange hooded figure that I assume is a
And
woman
this guy always seems to know how to face away from the camera. When he goes out, he turns this way and kind of waves and then goes out in a way where it's like he never faces the camera. Could just be coincidence, or he could be trying to avoid the camera.
enters again.
That's not how a woman moves, dude, unless it's a lesbian. Could be a lesbian who's just really good at moving like a man.
And takes, I think that she takes
Thank you, Cold C. Appreciate the $5, brother. Hope you're doing
Cold
good.
C super chatted $4.99.
Thank you, bro.
the hoodie out
Appreciate you.
after she has gone in front of
So yeah, right there, you can, I swear to God, It's like you can see a little bit of his nose. I swear to God, it's like he's wearing a mask. I mean, it's crazy because, like, yeah, he has a hoodie on, but you should still be able to see some bit of the face. Something, right?
Of the camera. I don't know if this is a she or if this is a he.
That's a dude.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I think you can see a little bit of the nose there. So maybe they're not wearing a mask. Maybe it's just the lighting so bad with the hoodie creating a shadow that you can't pick up the facial details.
But it is so strange that a hooded figure, you could use a
Yeah, you can see the
hoodie.
Almost like they're wearing a Humpty Dumpty nose, you know? Humpty Dumpty, the rapper who used to wear that big fake nose.
Or have your identity concealed by going in front of the only camera that was working. All right, so...
Yeah, this is an embarrassment, Tech. It's 100% an embarrassment. Especially the way they played up this video. We're going to play some more of that. The way they played up this video, like it was going to be this like fucking unbelievable evidence of exactly what happened. You're going to see the cell. Nobody, like, this is such a joke. It's such a joke.
I guess that is the thing. And now we arrive at the moment in which Jeffrey Epstein is found dead. This is the last clip for today. How do we know this is the clip? Well, it's 6:34 in the morning, and you see that there's more movement. You see that we have like 3
The Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump.
or 4 people in
For all of you fucking... It was a weird time, the 90s.
here. And zoom in and play this at twice the speed, maybe 4x the speed. So you can notice that there's more movement. You see there's some kind of distress. They're going back and forth. And they push the...
Yeah, and Sigma, they played this video up like this was like the end-all be-all evidence that's going to tell us everything. And it's nothing. It tells us nothing.
The chair, they begin making calls. Nobody's going out. Nobody comes in, but they already know that it's obvious that they already know that the guy was dead. So that's what we have so far. Again, I told you so many questions. I tried to answer them all. The thing that I found the most disturbing was the mysterious hooded figure that went out and then in, well, barely less than 1 hour away of Jeffrey Epstein being found dead. We don't know if it's the same person, and the fact that the video was spliced. But again, I would like to know what...
Yeah, I think that was the best one. I wish I would have watched that one yesterday. Because, well, they've all been good. But to me, this was like the best breakdown of everything. So shout out to Jesus Enrique Rosas. There was some other shit here. Let me see. Oop. Gotta come over here.
do you think about this in the comments?
Tell us what you think about this video. Oh yeah, I'm not doing a good impression of him. But yeah, there's a lot of shit here.
This is a montage of the...
Okay, so this is a new one from CoffeeZilla. Let's see what the latest is.
This is a montage of the changing stories on Jeffrey Epstein. Enjoy.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island.
Yeah, and then now we're gonna pretend like you just throwing it all under the rug and saying, oh, no one else was involved. It's just Jeffrey Epstein. No further charges. After you've said shit like this, and then you're mad at us for being like, what the fuck is going on here?
With Jeffrey Epstein.
That island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
You know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like,
yeah, J-Hold. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, Tupac, I'm pretty sure he was gay.
No, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure that?
But now here's the other thing, though, J-Hold. I've talked about this before. I've seen this in action before. Men that are raised by single moms tend to take on the affects of the mother. And then sometimes once they get away from the mother, then they kind of start adapting. You know, they get around men and they start becoming more manly. So that could have been what was going on with Tupac. Just another dude raised by a single mom who got effeminate, you know? Or he could have been gay too. But I've seen people that you would think they're gay, but they're not. They're banging chicks. But because they were raised by a single mom, they're like the most effeminate behavior.
And let's say he's like, I'm absolutely sure of that. His plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source.
Yeah,
These
Bongino looks off
that's
now.
why this blackmail story.
CB420, Bongino, Cash Patel, Bondi, they all, when they're talking about this shit, they do not seem like their normal selves. They seem like they're lying, to be honest, and they have no choice but to lie, and they're probably hating it. Who knows? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? What pressure they're putting on them? Because I think they know they're lying. The body language, their facial expressions, the way they respond to things, it seems like, yeah, like Trump said, it's like they sold their souls. You're seeing what happens to people when they sell their souls. I don't know, but I think they're definitely lying, and it's kind of easy for me to see that. I'm pretty good at picking up on shit like that.
Much sense.
There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious.
Is that worth watching, MMA KO? Because I caught a clip of it, but I maybe we can pull that up a little bit.
Allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and you should be asking yourself the question: how is it that all these people?
By the way, if you saw my edit of the hockey guy beating up that drunk guy on the golf course, MMA KO helped edit that. So thank you, MMA KO. Hopefully he'll keep editing me. I can get more clips out for you guys.
The CIA director,
definitely did a good job with that one. So thank you, MMA KO.
Obama
Go follow
fixer,
him. He's
Clinton,
a great editor.
All intersected past with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust?
The problem is, if you hide anything, people are going to keep questioning. The only way to get past this is to release everything, either to a bunch of journalists, let like 10 different journalists, 10 different fucking news outlets go in there, get access to all of it, and let them all fucking, like they did with the Twitter files, just dive deep, and we'll get news stories. It'll be fucking great. That to me is the answer. Get like 20 news agencies, let them have access and say, you go through all this and inform the public what's in here. And, maybe you find something we didn't find.
Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera.
I want to talk to you about the Epstein case. I have worked on this for years, trying to get those records of who flew on Epstein's plane and who helped him build this international human trafficking ring.
Absolutely, Senator. Child trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
Release the list. Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
The DOJ may be releasing the list.
We got to stop saying list and we got to say Epstein files. Release the files. Give us everything you can. Obviously, if there's a victim, redact that. But that doesn't mean redact everything. Just redact the victims' names, any photos of victims. Especially if they're being victimized. But, some of these victims are already public people. They've already come out. Like, their names are already out there. Like, do you need to redact their names? Yeah, if there's actual sexual shit with them in it, yeah, you're going to want to redact that. You're not going to re-victimize them in that way. But, dude, just let some of the best journalists, get the Matt Taibbi's, the fucking Glenn Greenwalds, the fucking Tucker Carlson, let all these news organizations get access to all the footage and let them fucking inform the people. Simple as that, dude.
Of Jeffrey Epstein's clients?
Well, MMA KO, it might be dead now, but it's one good video away from being reborn, dude.
That really happened?
That's how it
It's
works.
sitting on my desk right now to review.
As long as you're not like throttled and shadow banned by YouTube, you should be
A lot
good.
of people are wondering, because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk, is when can we see them and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have, well over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released. There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child.
It's almost like they thought they were going to be able to release it. It's almost like they were like, okay, we are going to release this. And then behind the scenes are like, you can't release this. You realize if you release this, you're going to take down this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. And it's like, oh shit. Now we got to figure out a way to fucking not look stupid. And yeah, there's no way around that.
What
You look
kind?
stupid.
Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well, we'll
along
look
with
for
his
that.
co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for
He
sure.
sure did.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden. And
This is all stuff we've already watched this shit. So we'll skip this one. Let's see what else we had here. Oh yeah.
Entertainment founder.
I guess this is what AJ was talking about. Alex Jones was talking about the other day. He was like, PBD had a great point. All right, let's see what PBD's great point is.
Entertainment founder Patrick Bet David is here. All right, PBD, what did you think when Trump said, nah, Epstein's old news?
You talking about Epstein?
Yeah.
I think good to be back on with you, buddy. But this is what I will tell you. The #1 trending hashtag right now on X is Epstein. 2 million people have tweeted with the topic of Epstein. Number 2 is Nicki Minaj at 100,000. Comey's at 42,500. There is a reason why people are asking about this. This is by far, and I'm a supporter. 3 times I voted for this man. This is by far the biggest fumble of the administration they've had thus far. And here's the reason why. If you remember the president winning, he had a conversation with Fox News, the great Rachel Campos Duffy, and she asked, Mr. President, 9/11, yes. John F. Kennedy, yes. Epstein, he didn't say yes. He was a little bit hesitant of bringing that information out. Why? So why does his leadership team go out there and are like, we have this information and we're going to release this and cash? And let me tell you what we have with Pam Bondi out of the state of Florida. She knew everything about Bondi, about Epstein. Why are you fumbling this? Why are you not having an emergency meeting together to conversate and say, hey, we're going to be on the same page with messaging on this? All you have to do is send a message to everybody, say, God, let's have a conference call. Here's what we're going to be saying about this, because this was a very important issue to not 80% of the voters that voted for President Trump, but I think 20% of the voters wanted to know what's going to happen with Epstein, and it's a big letdown. I totally get the big victories. Tariff, $300 billion valuation this year of how much money is going to come from tariffs. Last year, the government only got $80 billion or so. That's like a company.
Wasn't Pam Bondi also involved in the 2008 prosecution of Epstein? Wasn't she involved in that somehow?
Forex. Massive victory. The stuff that's going on with, different areas we're winning. What happened with, Iran, the back and forth, the conversations. I think this was the biggest fumble when it came down to Epstein. And the more they answer like that, the more attention you're going to draw to. People are going to ask, why are they so nervous about this? What do you know that the rest of us don't know? If it's just the fact that you want to hold people blackmail, is that the relation between everything? Everyone's read the stories. It's not like we don't know what it is. It's not like the only thing people watch nowadays is Fox. People watch Twitter. People go X. People go CNN. People go ChatGPT. People know what happened with this guy. But my biggest suggestion, let's not have another fumble like the one we just had here, because this was the biggest fumble by the administration.
Well, let's get to one of the other hot stories, and I'm not talking...
Oh, okay. So some critics, particularly on social media, have claimed that Bondi, as Florida's attorney general, failed to pursue further action against Epstein after taking office. despite public scrutiny of the lenient 2008 plea deal. For example, Post and X have accused her of letting Epstein slide. Okay, so that does make sense. So she took over and then refused to like continue pressing charges on Epstein.
Talking
Yeah,
about
that is a little
Minaj,
suspicious.
Although I am going to check out what's going on with Nikki after this break. We're talking about James Comey and Brennan, two of Obama's top intelligence guys, CIA, FBI, now under investigation, potentially lying to Congress, a conspiracy with regards to the Russia hoax. How does that play out?
Well, I mean, look, we all know who Comey is. This guy is a very, very dangerous man of what he did to America during the time going after the president, the amount of things that he did of dividing the country, and then you go put the 86. We already know what his profile is, and then just recently finding out what happened with Diddy, and his daughter was tied to it, and we followed that one. And then Brennan, you know where these guys are at. I love the fact that finally we're getting to the bottom of finding out what happened. A lot of people are interested to see what happened here. Their interference, but they're also interested in other issues.
Yeah, okay. It says somebody asked if she was a Scientologist. There's no definitive evidence that Pam Bondi is a Scientologist. However, her ties to the Church of Scientology have sparked controversy and speculation, particularly during her time as Florida Attorney General. These connections primarily stem from campaign contributions and her attendance at Scientology-related events. That's sus. She was a terrible pick, man. What a terrible pick.
Jesse,
I would have loved to see what Matt Gaetz would have done.
you do a phenomenal
But
job.
he was too much of a wild card.
The only suggestion I'm making to the administration, I'm not making any friends today. Normally when I come, I give a very positive message. My only suggestion, no more fumbles. You're having the greatest start ever as a president. There's going to be Nobel Prize, but a lot more than that. I believe he has a shot at going down as one of the greatest presidents of all time and competing for some of the like top 5 type of lists. But we have to have an emergency meeting and saying collectively, no more fumbles. We got to go.
All right. We're going to go check in with Nicki Minaj in the break. PBD, good to talk to you.
Oh my God, that was such a great point. I mean, you just said what everybody else is saying. Like, this is not a hard one to fucking come up with here. So yeah, great job, PBD. Great job. That was so wise. So wise. Let's all kiss PBD's ass now. Look at that fake fucking salesman smile. Let's all kiss PBD's ass. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to take a pee. It'll be 10, 20 seconds, 30 seconds at most. Be right back.
Oh my, what could it be? It looks like it's technical difficulty. Or maybe someone is at the door. Or maybe Ping just don't want to be here no more. Maybe he just wants to pee or grab a little protein. Whatever the case may be, Ping will be right back, that's a guarantee. We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. Hello, hello, are you there? Hey, where are you? We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. We're having technical difficulties. Oh my, what could it be? It looks like it's technical difficulties. Or maybe someone is at the door. Or maybe Ping just don't want to be here no more. Maybe he just wants to pee or grab a little protein.
All right, I'm back. And yes, I washed my hands, okay? You fucking... Last time I saw the comments last time I went to pee. Oh, it was too quick. He didn't wash his hands. I washed my hands, okay? All right? What do you think I am? Some sort of crazy person who doesn't wash their hands? What do you think I am? George Carlin? All right, yeah, we got some other stuff here. Let's see what I had in the bookmarks over here. Finish it off. Well, I think we had some from Alex. Yeah, 30 minutes. Damn, that's a long one. Yeah, so we're still doing this. Trump is using the blackmail to control the deep state. So basically, Trump is the head Epstein now. Trump is the head blackmailer in chief. Let's give it a shot. 30 minutes. We'll try it.
All right, I've been on the phone last night and
yeah, it
this
took longer
morning
than I thought.
with
I try to push that urine out as fast as possible, but the thing is, when I do these shows, I like to have a lot of liquids because it keeps my voice from keeps me able to talk. So I drink too much liquids. That's the problem.
High-level sources in the Pentagon, high-level sources in CENTCOM, high-level sources in the media, high-level sources in the White House, high-level presidential advisors. And I have confirmed, talking to all of them, that exactly what I surmised all of this was on Monday is exactly what's going on. U.S. intelligence, the CIA, under the Democrats and the globalists, was using these blackmail files, these initiation events, to control their people. That was the whole point of it. And then when Trump becomes president, and this time actually begins to really control the deep state, would he then release all these bankers and tech titans and political leaders and indict them all for raping children? And the argument would be, well, no, he can't do that. It'll bring down the whole U.S. government.
And what's the problem?
I'm not endorsing that. That's how this works. I'm explaining what's going on.
It is. It's Sigma.
Now, the question is, will he
Q
stop
2.0.
the human trafficking, sex slavery? Or will he let Mossad, CIA, MI6 continue it on? Well, he can't even get his own staffers to do what he tells them. So, no, you have to expose the whole thing, send him to prison, or it does continue on. The argument that you can take control of it to manage it and limit it, that's a Zbigniew Brzezinski argument he made in books he wrote in the 70s about how Western intelligence runs human trafficking and sex slavery and pedophilia for control. So I understand the argument. I don't agree with it, but I understand the argument of this is too evil and too bad to bring out. It'll bring down the whole U.S. government. And so Trump grabs the files from the Democrats they wouldn't give him in New York.
It's the same studio I interviewed him at. It's a nice fucking area. I mean, it's a big fucking... He's got all kinds of... He's got multiple fucking recording studios in that building. It's like... It's a nice building. It's a nice setup.
With Cash Patel and Bondi back in March.
It's big enough you can get lost in there.
Delivers the files and the terabytes of child rape and all the rest of it to the FBI offices around the country. That's cocking the gun, loading the gun, cocking the gun. Puts it to the head of the system. And you notice in March, as soon as he did that, you started seeing the establishment roll over faster and faster. Still, there's large parts of it that haven't. But at the top, they're bending the knee. He goes to NATO, now they basically fall down and worship him. He goes to the Middle East, same thing. I mean, it's because he now understands how things works, and he's getting in there. What happened is the deals Trump made with the deep state to stop attacking him if he did this was you got to now join it as an accessory after the fact. You've now got to come out and say nothing's there. He wasn't even a sex trafficker. He didn't have any, there were no marks, there was no blackmail. When his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, is in prison for human trafficking. So this is part of a deal that Trump made with these different factions. And I've talked to a lot of people the last few days, particularly last night and this morning, and they said, we concur with your analysis 100%. And with the points that you and Nick Fuentes have been making, they specifically brought him up, that we know Israel and its intelligence operations target the U.S. heavily, target U.S. presidents specifically in Congress, and that they're heavily involved in the joint blackmail file with the CIA and MI6 with Epstein, who was a Mossad officer, and took it over from Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who was a high-level Mossad operative. And so internally, there's that whole battle, and that Trump has been using that against Israel.
Let's say if this is true, right? And they're going to use this blackmail, this all the Epstein files to blackmail these people that are in high levels of power. You would see just a bunch of people stepping down. You would see massive change in like every government. We'll see if that happens. We'll see if, a bunch of people start stepping down from positions of power. I doubt it. But I think you would be able to see some sort of effect if they did start using the Epstein files to blackmail all these people. But to me, this is just cope. This is the Trump team. And, they're probably going, oh, this is the fucking thing we have to say. We have to say, oh, we got to make it seem like, it's Q level shit going on behind the scenes. We can't tell anybody, but the plan's in action, guys. You got to trust the plan. Trust the plan. It's going to be more of that shit. Sorry, I'm not going to trust the plan. Release everything. Transparency. That's what you ran on. You ran on fucking transparency. Release everything. Not just one video that shows nothing.
Now, I've had some time to...
Okay. Yeah, a lot of times Alex puts all the best stuff at the beginning. Yeah, Virginia Giuffre, it is kind of odd how she died. And then all of a sudden there's no Epstein files, there's nothing. And it's like very convenient that she just happened to die. Supposedly she, offed herself, even though she said, I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I have made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted. So I guess saying I would never myself is just not enough anymore. No one's going to believe you when the media says, yeah, you offed yourself. So this story is really crazy, man. And then, they try to discredit her now because she took back what she said about Alan Dershowitz. So it's like, oh, she's a liar. I don't know. She was probably on drugs. Who knows what the fuck was going on? She was probably under severe stress and maybe her memory's not perfect about that time period. But yeah, I think it's kind of fucked that they're trying to discredit her now. Journalist has a theory why the federal government is probably covering up the Epstein case. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Blackmail plays an integral role, and I've been at this for 21 years, and Epstein had cameras in all of his homes. I mean, Epstein was definitely a blackmail artist, and the government wants to make sure that that is not...
Yeah, MMKO, that's... Well, I'll pull it up again, but it's hard to find any information. It's been like 3 months, and it's still hard to find any information. But yeah, that Virginia Giuffre, who's the one that was photographed with Prince Andrew, she was hit by a bus, and then she was like, I have days to live. They're trying to kill me or something like that. And she did a video where like she's all bruised up. And then like 4 days later, she dies, and it's a suicide. Very suspicious, dude.
Does not come out. That a huge part of our political system is predicated on blackmail. And especially if that dark, malignant corner of the intelligence that is using blackmail against our politicians and other people, if they were using children, I mean, that would make the American people erupt. So that's why that Wikipedia page is locked down. And that's why this is important. This is, for that dark corner of intelligence, this is
almost at 100, boys. Got 8 more likes to get to 100. So if you haven't hit it yet, you forgot. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get it to 100.
Beach. They're not going to give an inch because this is the last thing that they want out. And it's amazing how the Epstein scandal has been covered up. If you look at all the victims and all the perpetrators and all the procurers involved in the Epstein network, I mean, we're talking score and the people that facilitated it, like the pilots and like Epstein's house managers and the cooks and everybody else. We're talking scores and scores of people, and no one's been indicted except for Ghislaine Maxwell. And that really shows that our government, unfortunately, wants to stop it there. Our government does not, I mean, although Americans do, I think, are coming around to the belief that Epstein was taking part in blackmail, or a lot of them, it doesn't make sense. Why is our government aiding and abetting child trafficking? And unless they're protecting some very powerful people and a political process, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it came out, I think our intelligence agencies were involved. They worked with Epstein. I think many intelligence agencies from many different countries were working with Epstein. in my opinion. And I think if that was to come out, people are already so fucking fed up with the deep state. They're fed up with the FBI, CIA. A lot of people, like me, want to see them gone. I want to see them disbanded completely. So imagine something like this comes out that shows, oh, look what they were up to. They were blackmailing powerful people so they could get control over them. And by using fucking children, that would be it, dude. That would be, everybody would want him gone at that point. So like their whole existence relies on keeping this buried. So yeah, I mean, what he's saying makes sense. Y'all were asking about Virginia Giuffre. Let's pull up what Grok is saying about the case. The death of Virginia Giuffre, a prominent accuser of Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, has raised questions due to several reported inconsistencies and circumstances surrounding the event. Here are the key points that have been noted as unusual or strange based on available information. Discrepancies in... Hold on. Jeffrey's family initially announced her death on April 25th, 2025, as a sulota at her farm in Nergaby, Western Australia. However, her father, Sky Roberts, later publicly disputed this, claiming there's no way that she did commit and suggested somebody got to her, implying foul play. This contradicts the official police statement in the family's initial report, creating uncertainty. Jeffries, I think it's, you say Jeffries. I'm just going to say Jeffries. Australia-based attorney Kerry Loudon initially expressed doubts about the suicide ruling, stating that there were big question marks over it. Although she later clarified to people that she did not believe the death was suspicious and that the coroner would determine the cause. Her initial comments fueled speculation. It's almost like people say what they think and then someone talks to them and all of a sudden their story changes. Jeffrey's lawyer and family members noted that she was a strong advocate for survivors and showed no signs of self-harm in recent communications. Her lawyer stated that they were in contact days before her death with no indication of intent, adding to questions about the official narrative. Jeffrey was reportedly personal struggles. Jeffrey was reportedly dealing with significant emotional and physical challenges in the months leading up to her death. These include a custody battle with her estranged husband. I mean, everybody's going through struggles. They go like, oh, she was having a hard time. It's like, dude, people have hard times every day, but they don't oof themselves, you know? Robert Jeffrey, who had obtained a restraining order preventing her from contacting their 3 children. She also alleged physical abuse by her husband, documented in her diary and supported by photos of injuries. Additionally, a car accident in March 2025 reportedly left her with serious health issues. Apparently, she was hit by a fucking bus. Though police disputed the severity of the crash. That's weird too. Like, why is she saying one thing in the video and the police were like, it wasn't actually that bad? I don't know. Maybe she was having some sort of mental break or something. That's possible. You know, it's possible that she did, but all these coincidences, it's hard to believe anything. It's like, oh, another weird coincidence? Oh, another one? And by the way, like Richardson, the ex-governor of New Mexico, just died as well. And he's somehow tied into Epstein. I got to look further down that rabbit hole. Additionally, a car accident in March 25. Okay, these stressors were cited as contributing to her distress, but some question whether they fully explain her death. Lack of transparency around funeral arrangements. Reports indicate that Jeffrey's body was cremated, and her ashes were released to her estranged husband, Robert, with no funeral or notice provided to her family or loved ones in the U.S. This has been described as disrespectful by those close to her, raising questions about handling of her remains and the lack of communication with her family. Speculation of foul play. Some ex-posts and Jeffrey's father have suggested external involvement in her death, with claims that she had previously told family and her therapist, and she publicly posted on social media, that she was not suicidal and feared being targeted to shut her up due to her high-profile accusation against Epstein, Prince Andrew, and others. These claims, while unverified, contribute to public suspicion. Ongoing investigation. Western Australian police stated that the death is being investigated by major crime detectives, but early indications suggest it is not suspicious. However, the coroner's final determination of the cause of death could take over a year. Damn, a year to get a cause of death? Leaving room for speculation in the interim. He died 2 or 3 years ago, Richardson? Oh, okay. I saw somebody posted it in the Discord. By the way, go hang out in the Discord, guys. That's a good little community we're building, and you guys can help me with the show. You know, anything you want me to talk about, etc. You know, any suggestions, let me know in the Discord. But yeah, somebody was talking about in the Discord. I thought it was today. Okay, 2 or 3 years ago. All right, so I don't know. I have to look that shit up. But yeah, a year to get a cause of death. That seems, I guess that maybe that's normal. I don't know. While these elements have sparked question and public interest, The official stance from authorities remains that Giuffre's death was not suspicious. And her attorney, well, how can you say that if you haven't even got a coroner report yet? You don't even have a cause of death yet, and you're saying it's not suspicious. That's a little weird. And her attorney has since clarified that she does not believe foul play was involved. The ongoing coroner's investigation may provide further clarity, but until then, these factors contribute to the perception of something strange about her death. Well, yeah, I mean, she's in a position where a lot of powerful people would want to whack her. And she comes out and says, I'm not suicidal. And if I die, I want you guys to know I'm not suicidal. And then she dies of a suicide. It is very suspicious, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically the Giuffre thing. We got no information, you know. Didn't she have a post on IG? How to spell her name? Jesus, I'm gonna get fucking OnlyFans shit, ain't I? Here, let me search this over here because Twitter is, you can't trust Twitter. Like, you can have the safe search on and still fucking get nudity. So let me search for it over here. Because I know she had a post on Instagram when she got hit by that bus. Yeah. Here it is. I think she posted this yeah, this is, I think she posted this picture on Instagram after she was in that car accident where she got hit by a bus. And you can see her face is all extremely bruised up. Yeah, so that's her when she was, I think, 17, when she was being abused. And that's Prince Andrew. And she's laying there. So yeah. And then 4 days later, she commits. Very strange. Nothing to see here, though, guys. It's all just a coinkydink. Just another coinkydink, boys. That's all. Okay. Whatever you say. But yeah, it's a little weird. Let me get back to my bookmarks. We had some stuff in here. This is Rogan talking about Epstein, but this was, I think, a long time ago when he was talking about him. This is funny. This guy we got some funny videos here. We'll end it with some comedy. We'll get back to it. Yeah, let's go ahead and play it. Fuck it. This guy trolls black dudes. He works at this store, and he just, this guy's going to get killed. This guy is going to get killed if he keeps this up.
You have a blessed day, McChicken.
What you say?
I said you have a blessed day, McChicken.
Who you calling me chicken?
What you mean?
What you mean? What you call me?
I called you a McChicken.
Bro, don't be calling me no McChicken, bro.
Why you say that?
My name ain't no McChicken, bro. This ain't no restaurant, bro. What you think this is, bro?
A restaurant?
You think this restaurant for real, huh?
Yeah, why? No, but why you get so offended though? You just said like.
Bro, that ain't my name. No chicken nugget, bro. You ask me my name, I'll tell you my name, bro. You know my name Unruly, bro. Your name? Chicken nugget, bro.
Your name Rudy?
Unruly.
My bad, brother.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like, I thought you was a part of that LGBT.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no, you can't say that to a proud black man.
Yeah.
That's what you thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you think I'm part of that zesty community? Huh?
The zesty community, bro. What does that mean, man? What, you don't support the LGBTQ, bro?
Yeah.
On my soul, bro. Yeah. I better not catch you out this, bro, on my soul.
What? Come on, bro, chill. What you doing, bro? Come on, bro. Why you just do that?
What's wrong with you, chicken nugget, huh? Chicken nugget, that clean that shit up.
Come on, bro.
God, this is like the lightest insult ever. You called him a McChicken. And the guy's gonna fucking crash out over that.
Bro,
I'm one gang.
Is he doing this in Chicago? If he's doing this in Chicago, this guy's not long for this earth.
Yeah, I already know. I said I got you, chicken nugget.
What the you just say to me, bro?
I just said like I got you on pump one, bro.
Nah, you tweaking in here, boy. You at face.
Midwest Crest, so you know about this guy? He puts on gloves and boxes them sometimes. Also, gang members protect him. Well, there's a lot of people that gang members supposedly protect that, you know, you can't protect people 24/7.
Facebook goofy shit.
What you mean?
You that goofy nigga on Facebook, gang.
I don't be on Facebook.
Hey, folks, don't say that shit no more to me, boy.
What you mean?
All right.
I'm saying, but what you mean? What you mean I'm be on Facebook?
Hey, give me that shit I want, man.
People do anything for views, dude. He's risking his life for fucking Facebook views, TikTok views.
Facebook Facebook chick, man. Give me the shit I want, bro.
I got you, boo boo. Just let me get $15.
Folks, say something else goofy as hell to
What
me,
you
bro.
mean?
Come on. Ain't no, come on, man. He talks some boo boo and all this weird shit in here, man.
Come on, bro.
Don't
That's your
say
girl.
that shit to me.
That's your girl. I literally know KO. I know all of them.
Go sit down real quick. man. You talking about all this boo boo shit in here, man.
Hey, nah, chill out, bro. My
Hey, man,
bad.
put that shit on my shit,
I apologize.
man. For real, man.
Come on, bro. What you doing?
What is it? Boo boo? Is that new slang? You on this boo boo shit, man? The fuck kind of slang is that?
Come on, why?
Is that just a way of saying you're being goofy? You're being a dumbass or something?
Why you so mad, bro?
Put my gas on my shit, man.
Why you so mad, bro? Hey, yo.
that guy's he's got to be careful. I mean, because the thing is, like, yeah, he's behind bulletproof glass, or supposed to be bulletproof glass, but at some point he's got to go home. At some point he's got to leave that glass. Oh, so yeah, Destiny was on Piers Morgan because remember he was making insensitive jokes about the people that died in Texas, and there was a lot of little girls that died in Texas, the Texas floods. I haven't seen this yet, but let's see what this is about.
Question, Destiny. Destiny, I want to ask you a question. So, a woman called Kylie Jane Kramer posted on X. I've been trying to wrap my head around how the flooding in Texas
Like saying
became
you're
so
being cute?
devastating so
Okay.
quickly.
Thank you, Midwest. You're
Why not
my
evacuate?
translator.
And I saw this. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said the Guadalupe River rose 26 feet in just 46 minutes.
The new lingo I can't keep up with, dude. I'm old, so my lingo is like 20 years behind.
Around 4 a.m. That doesn't even seem...
You'd be angry too, man, if you were black? Oh, I get it now. I was about to say, I wouldn't be angry. I'd be like, you just call me a McChicken? Okay, dude. Have a good day. That would be my response. I'd be, a McChicken. Okay. You've actually got me thinking about McDonald's now. I'm getting hungry.
You reposted this, and you put your own words. I heard God killed those kids because they were using NordVPN, promo code Destiny, to get around the Texas porn ban.
Destiny's trying to be a comedian. You know Mark Norman, Destiny, okay? Mark Norman is a professional comedian. You think he's making jokes about this shit? He's not that dumb. It's a little too soon, bro. A little too soon.
On reflection, do you think that was grotesquely tasteless thing to be posting?
Absolutely not.
Double down.
The hand wringing here. Oh my God! Stop.
Actually, it is a smart move. If you're gonna do some shit like this, you cannot apologize. You have to be like, it's a joke. Fucking, you guys are too sensitive. You're a bunch of pussies. I'm not apologizing. That is the move. Whether you're right or wrong, you can't apologize.
If you want to talk about dead children, then you should talk about the residents of Kerr County who rejected using ARPA funds to build the very siren system that Ted Cruz was over here virtue signaling about. Now that the kids are dead, last I checked, the siren system isn't bringing anybody back to life. Okay, the very same system that they could have built for the better part of the last decade. They didn't want to touch those ARPA funds because they thought that if they did, Biden would go and steal their homes, which is the exact same lie that was told in North Carolina when people were rejecting FEMA funds because they thought that if the government was giving them money for their houses, they'd steal it. If you want to talk about grotesque and ghoulish things that are being said, you should.
Yeah, it's convenient for them to act like something could have been done. It happened so fast. It happened in the middle of the night. Most people were asleep. Maybe you could have had less damage, or some people could have got a better warning. And there's ways for the system to be improved, and it should be improved. But this was there was no way people weren't going to be caught off guard at 3 a.m. with the biggest flood in fucking history.
It's what you put online. I agree with you. It's what you write online. It is grotesque. It's disgusting. But I mean, I guess that's what you do.
How long have people like you told us that if we spend less money in Ukraine, you guys are going to spend more money investing in things like infrastructure in the United States? Where is that money going?
We just had another
massive debt increase. Another massive debt increase for more tax cuts for wealthy people. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
All right, let me get a Ben.
All right, well, at least he's standing up for himself, right? We got to give him some credit there. He's not backing down. But yeah, that was a dumb tweet. Look, I'm one that can handle really bad jokes, offensive jokes. But it's just a little too soon, dude. We're talking about children dying. And go ahead and make the jokes. I don't think you should be banned for it, but obviously, you're going to have to deal with the backlash of the jokes you make. Oh, I think I'm in love with this chick, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Hi, it's Elishama.
There's something about like females that don't speak English that well that makes them even cuter, because they're like their confidence is a little lower when they're talking, and they're not like as sure of themselves because they don't. I don't know what it is. Something about women that don't speak very good English. They're just cuter.
Surprise, surprise! I'm at the fountain, and I got the coin that I'm going to wish.
Well, he did have a point, MMAKO, but like they want to pretend. Obviously, we should upgrade everything when it comes to our weather systems. You know, we should make them as up to date as possible. No shit, right? But it's still up to each local area to vote on that or whatever. So yeah, if they don't want to spend the money to update the systems, you know, that's kind of on them. But at the same time, this was a natural disaster at a level that had never been seen. This is an area that is prone to the worst type floods, dude. It's got, you know, lime rock. The water doesn't really have anywhere to go. It just sits on the surface. And then you have 4 months of rain in 4 hours. Like sometimes Mother Nature just fucks you in the ass and there's nothing you can do about it. It happens, you know?
Everyone, good luck. And what do I do? Throw it over my, over my what shoulder?
So she's trying to throw a rock into the pond, like a wishing pond or something?
My left shoulder. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
I would have married her right there. I'd be like, will you marry me? Right there. Right there. This is a poor guy, though. I mean, that must have been one heavy rock, the way this guy responds.
Okay. Maybe that didn't make it into the pond.
No, it did not make it into the pond.
What did it? I get a lot of wishes. The wishes that I will come back to.
The guy's back here still rubbing his fucking head. And she's just like just playing it off.
Bro, I've been here a lot of times and I want to come back again. Okay. I think that we should go.
I think that we should go, man. She's so cute, dude. She's so adorable. God. Guys, you got to find her. Somebody's got to find her and wife her up if she's not wifed up already. Okay, yeah, let's see. Some of these bookmarks are out, so we'll be jumping around different topics. It is what it is. Let's see what Bannon's got to say.
But that's not actually the biggest deal. The biggest deal is the size and scale and our ambitions as an empire. It's got to end. And that fight, folks, is about the deep state. And you can tie Epstein and Ukraine and what's happening, quite frankly, in the Middle East, right?
Bad take, Ping. She didn't apologize. Well, I don't know, man. Something about her. I don't care. She could hit me in the head with a rock. She's fucking adorable. I could have been the one that got hit in the head with a rock. I would still ask her to marry me right there.
And the Chinese Communist Party's infiltration of our nation, all tied back to the deep state. It's got to come down, and we only have a couple of years to do it. And we've got to be at general quarters.
We're not going to do it. That's the writing's on the wall, Steve. It's not going to be done.
This is what we have to be a DEFCON 1 about. And if we blink or do some side deals, right, or, you know, go after some marginal people.
She didn't apologize, but she also was probably scared and just wanted to leave. Come on, you know, it's not like you've never done something like that where you accidentally cause somebody, you know, a problem and you're like, oh shit, let me get out of here before they get mad at me.
So you got a couple.
What do you think would have happened if she would have went up and been like, I'm so sorry, that was me that threw the rock. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. They would have maybe been like, you bitch, you know, who knows?
Trophies up on the wall. This must be
Yeah, Steve Bannon is my low-key father, and I will look like him for sure.
Dismantled. It must be taken apart brick by brick.
But I think I'm going to keep my weight more under control than Steve Bannon.
It's not going to be easy. You think, look at USAID. You think it's going to be easy to take this part? No, it's not. He just had Sherman people saying, hey, you go ahead, play the fool, go do it. Go try it. Well, we have to do it. We have to do it. We don't have an option. The Epstein thing about whether they have it or not, it's a central front in the taking down of the deep state. It must be done.
Yeah.
This Ukraine thing, the whole effort to get Bridge Colby and Pete Hegseth out of the Pentagon right now. Because they're the ones cautioning that we're getting the deep state is sucking us in, just like what happened in the 12-day war. But that's not actually the biggest deal.
But they're not sucking them in. They've already been sucked the fuck in. So if they're at the point of covering the Epstein shit, I think it's too late. It's too late. You know, here's Glenn Greenwald. Look, I know a lot of people have a lot of criticisms of Glenn Greenwald and his personal life. If you could put that to the side, he does do occasionally some good journalism.
How
Let's see what he says here.
who is a Trump supporter can listen to that
and not feel completely
I think Bannon showers once a
condescended
month.
to and devalued and ignored is something I'll never understand.
I think him and Liver King probably shower the same amount. By the way, I haven't checked on Liver King in a while. I got to check up on him.
It wasn't the
Maybe
media
next episode, we'll check up on
obsessing
Liver King.
the Epstein case. It was Donald Trump's closest political associates. In fact, J.D. Vance bashed the media repeatedly for not asking questions about the Epstein case. He said anyone who's a journalist worthy of that term would be digging into all of this and demanding answers from the Biden administration about why these documents aren't forthcoming.
Oh yeah, Bo. Greenwald fucking parties. That's for sure. But it's not the type of party I want to go to. But, you know, separate the personal side from the business side. He still can do good journalism just because he's, you know, having crazy sex parties, you know, whatever. He's an adult. But yeah, it is a little, you know, whatever, you know, adults do what they do. And, you know, as long as you're not involving any children, nobody's getting hurt, whatever. I don't have to like it, but it's you do what you do, man.
About what information there is, about who's on that client list. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino went on every...
Was the coin thing fake? Dude, if that coin thing was fake, that's, I mean, too many things lined up perfectly. First of all, the acting is too good. And she just happened to hit that guy in the head. And that's the guy who, behind her head, she threw that and just happened to hit. It wasn't fake.
Podcast they could find, including in Dan Bongino's...
The way she reacted to was like a child who just did something wrong and was trying to pretend like it didn't happen.
Case his own.
I don't think it was fake.
To talk about this repeatedly. We showed you all the video last night. By the way, I was on Breaking Points earlier today with Crystal Ball, and I'm sure every show did this, but they compiled their own video montage of huge numbers of Trump officials, Trump supporters, leading Trump influencers over the last 4 years, begging the table.
I don't know, should I dive in the P. Diddy shit on another episode, Mateo? Because I gotta dive into it. I gotta like refresh my memory on everything. But yeah, it seems like he's getting off light, dude. It really does. Seems like, I don't know, like maybe there's too much he knows, and I don't know, man. But it just seems like more cover up.
In an accusatory way, implying that the Biden administration is in on this predatory pedophile plot because they're hiding all the truth.
Yeah, I'm kind of good on Diddy too.
And then Trump, when asked about it,
I don't really care anymore.
A matter that his own movement, his own supporters, that Trump himself was asked about several times during the campaign, and said, yeah, I think that's something that probably should be disclosed. I'm going to look into this. Then has the audacity to say, how can you ask about something so trivial? We're dealing with important things like the flood.
I think it's the worst moment in Trump's history. As a political figure altogether, this is the worst moment. This is worse than the grab him by the pussy remarks, because the grab him by the pussy remarks was kind of based in a way. This is the lowest of the low for Trump right here.
In Texas, and this great war victory, this 12-day war, this glorious war victory, this triumph that we bombed for about 30 minutes, Iran's nuclear facilities. And Netanyahu's here, and the two war leaders are expecting this parade in gratitude for this historic victory that they ended up waging. And Trump is saying, all these great things we're doing and all these tragedies, you're going to talk about something as trivial as the Epstein case? This creep that's dead? I mean, all the people raising the questions most loudly still are Trump's own supporters. His vice president, his attorney general, his FBI director, his deputy FBI director, his own attorney, personal attorney, who's now the U.S. attorney for New Jersey. And he's going to attack a reporter and demean a reporter, and that's as angry as Trump really gets in terms of like his visceral behavior.
Yeah, and it was like a pro-Trump reporter too, wasn't it? Ducey?
I said he exploded in anger at this reporter. And
no, I think Ducey's the one that asked Caroline Leavitt. I don't know who this reporter
said,
is.
no, he wasn't exploding in anger. Whatever. That's a semantic thing. For me, I haven't seen Trump quite that animated in spewing anger toward a reporter, but whatever. The substance is...
What Trump needs to do right now, he needs to fire Bondi, he needs to fire Patel, and he needs to fire fucking Bongino and go, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but we're going to redo this. We're going to try this again.
what matters, and the substance.
Bring in Gates this time.
Is him suddenly now pronouncing that the Epstein case is not just trivial, but too trivial to even waste his time asking about. Now that his administration has said nothing there, nothing to see, move on. How?
Yep. Stop asking questions, boys. Stop asking questions. Let's see what else we got here. This is Greg Reese. This is a guy from InfoWars. I didn't watch this earlier, but let's see what this is. Let's see what he has to say.
Donald Trump has been friends with Jeffrey Epstein for years. In 2002, he told New York Magazine that he's, quote, known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes...
This is a hard quote to live down. You knew him for 15 fucking years? You knew this creep for 15 years and didn't know he was a creep?
Beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life. Close quote. Jeffrey...
So, yeah. It is sus that he had this long of a relationship with Epstein.
Epstein claimed
It's just more evidence of, it's possible Trump's trying to cover some of his own shit. I mean, maybe he's innocent of any of the really terrible stuff, but maybe he's all over the files, and just being in the files is enough. Or maybe, the worst case scenario, they had some actual blackmail on him.
He introduced Donald Trump to Melania. Epstein is known for grooming beautiful women for powerful men. On July 6, 2019, Epstein was arrested. 2 weeks later, he was murdered in his jail cell, all during President Trump's first term. Shortly after Trump began his second term, political agents and useful idiots posed for the cameras with DOJ binders, as if justice was coming, and nothing followed. Until this week, when we were told that the DOJ and the FBI concluded that Epstein had no client list and died by suicide. While this isn't fooling the awakening masses, political agents and useful idiots began doing their best to defend Trump and steer everyone towards immigration, where the solution will obviously be the digital ID for every U.S. citizen. The overwhelming majority of U.S. government representatives are the recipients of hundreds of millions of dollars paid out by AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were clearly part of a sexual blackmail operation run by the Mossad and the CIA to further own the American government. This is why our government officials are all on board with the genocide being committed by the U.S. and Israel.
Do you think that there can be a two-state solution that creates an independent...
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to answer that age-old question, two-state. Go ahead. You give him your honest answer.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers to threaten us. And that means that certain powers, like overall security, will always remain in our hands. Now, that is a fact. And no one in Israel will agree to it.
So they should be able to govern themselves, but we should also be able to just walk around their lands with machine guns to keep security? Is that what he's saying?
Anything else, because we don't commit suicide. We want life, we cherish life for ourselves, for our neighbors. And I think we can work out a peace between us and the entire Middle East with President Trump's leadership. And by working together, I think we can establish a very, very broad peace that will include all our neighbors.
When Pam Bondi was asked about all this, Trump couldn't help but interrupt her and show frustration that anyone was concerned about his old friend of 15 years.
One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you...
By the way, people seem, the Trumps and all of them seem to be brushing this off. A U.S. Attorney General said, a U.S. fucking attorney, not just some random person, a U.S. Attorney General said that he was told to back off, that this guy belongs to intelligence. A U.S. Attorney General, dude. This is not some random fucking person. To me, there's no doubt he was working for some intelligence agencies, or they were like contracting him out for blackmail or whatever.
You resolved whether or not he did, and also could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the stabbing?
Yeah, sure. If
Hey,
I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
This is the dumbest part about this is like, did you realize what the news just came out about Epstein? Like, why wouldn't we be asking questions about Epstein when you guys just released this update, the garbage update that Epstein is, it was just Epstein, we're closing the case. Of course they're going to be asking questions about it. This is what makes it even more suspicious that you reacted this way.
This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things.
Yeah, and then you can talk about those things too. You can talk about all of them. You can talk about, but why don't you want to talk about Epstein? Very sus.
And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
This creep who you were friends with for 15 years and partied with, who you're sitting there with your arm around right there, that creep?
Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
A desecration for you to have to respond to why all of you guys are flipping the script all of a sudden and being like, Epstein didn't kill himself, or Epstein did kill himself, and in fact nobody else was involved, and we're closing the case. What do you how could you be so dumb to not expect this reaction?
And Pam Bondi,
and to think that this is gonna like calm down the response, this response is gonna cause people to go, okay, we'll stop asking questions. No, this is gonna make it worse. You're going to get more questions now, and you're going to lose a lot of supporters.
Suggested that the child porn they have in
Thank you, John. I got your back too, John.
Evidence was Epstein's personal collection that he downloaded from the internet, and nothing at all to do with blackmail.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file.
Yeah, but then why would you respond that way? When he asked about the client list, why would you say it's sitting on my desk? But you weren't talking about the client list when that's what he was actually fucking asking about? He wasn't asking about the file. He said the client list and you said it's sitting on my desk. So either you're too dumb to be able to answer a question properly, or this is after the fact you trying to fucking spin things.
Along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
Look at that. Files. She's scared. She's scared. She knows that she's lying, and everybody knows she's lying. She almost literally started crying there.
That's what I meant. With the JFK, MLK files as well.
Look at that. You can hear the quiver. Files. You can hear the quiver. You can hear
That's what I meant by that. Also to the tens.
Not even a good lawyer. She's a terrible lawyer. A good lawyer would be able to lie without quivering like a little bitch.
Of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
So I think they had to say it was CP because they said there was all kinds of videos of terrible acts with children, right? So you already said that. So how can you now change that? So now it's just, oh, it was just a bunch of CP. That's what it was.
Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that.
Being a semi-attractive blonde can really get you far in this life, can it? Right? Just being a mildly attractive blonde. That's all it takes. The whole world will fucking open up to you.
Greg Reese reporting.
Good job, Greg. All right, I didn't see that, but I like Greg's reporting. He's one of my favorite InfoWars guys. He does good videos. Here's Posobiec talking about it. Posobiec. I mean, look, these are the guys that were the biggest Trump supporters. This is a sea change. Like the MAGA movement as we knew it is dead. It's dead. They're going to be people who are still going to try to cover up, and they're going to try to forget about this and move on and cheerlead Trump some more. But this is more than a chink in the armor. This is a kill shot, right to the fucking heart, dude.
But Jack, give me 2 minutes on your solution, because you know the deep state as well as anybody. Your solution on the Epstein situation. Now, since you went in for the first, what do you call it, the baloney file or the baloney burger they gave you over at the White House? The bologna binder.
It was a bologna
What is your
burger.
recommendation today?
Yeah, very fine binder full
you
of
and
bologna.
DC Drain are up in the middle of this thing. What's your guys' recommendation? What has to happen today, sir?
Look, here's the issue, all right? And I'll be fair. I'll be fair, but I'm going to be blunt. The idea that we've got access, or that the DOJ has access to everything, and
Did he leave InfoWars?
that there's just some list sitting around. I get.
Did Greg Reese leave InfoWars? Okay, I just remember he was with InfoWars at one point. I thought he still was. Thanks for the update.
Get it, okay? I get that it's not really this fine list, and here you go, you can have it. I get how that works, right? I've been in the system. I've been on the other side of that table. But don't sit there and tell me there's nothing when you told me there was something. That's the issue for the AG, is you told the entire world there was something.
Bro, if you lost Jack Posobiec and Cat Turd, you know you're fucked.
You told us there were files. You told us there were lists. I'm not talking about the kiddie porn. All right, I get that. Right, we don't want that released. We want to protect those victims. But what we need to do is figure out the investigation. And by the way, when it comes to those victims, were they interviewed? Were the victims interviewed? And did people go through? And I understand it's a process, but that's how this works, right? That's how you investigate these types of operations and these types of crimes, is that you do, unfortunately, have to, you do it in a careful way, and you have specifically trained people who can do this. You bring in the therapists, et cetera, but you need to get the names. And for all of these hundreds of victims, where's the interviews? Then you generate leads. Then you figure out what happened. So don't tell me there's nothing. Yeah. Don't sit there for...
I'm telling you, they got to do it like Elon did the Twitter files. You got to bring in some, I don't know, as many fucking trusted journalists as you can, and you say, okay, you guys go through all of this and start writing stories about it. Start informing the people what's in these files. And if we got 20 people, they can all corroborate each other, and it's a much better system. That's what they need to do. That's what they need to do. Put these journalists to work, and who knows, maybe they'll uncover things, because it doesn't even seem like these people are even care to like even research these files. To release a video the way they did tells me, like, what work are they doing? It's like they're trying to ignore the files or something. I don't know. Like, this is all you had? All this work, and this is all you had, this video that proves fucking nothing?
And I will tell it like I'm a joke. Like, it's a joke that there's nothing. No, it's absolutely not. Put out everything you have. Start going to the SDNY right now and start declassifying and unsealing everything. Oh,
you remember that? That was the big cope, was like, oh, we thought we had all the files, but it's actually the SDNY is hiding them, and we're getting them right now. And then now there's a truckload of evidence that just showed up. And then we get a video that proves nothing, and oh, that's right. He killed himself, and there was nobody else involved. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but it's hard for me to believe that they're this dumb and they think people are going to buy this.
Told us existed, and we know exists.
You have to file charges today on the prosecutors that went after our man, and also the judge got to be impeached immediately. Appellate court says no evidence, lack of evidence.
So yeah, I mean, even Posobiec is going against him here. Let's see what made. Oh, even Marjorie Taylor Greene is going against. Maxwell. I'm telling you, man, if people want to say MAGA's a cult, it is not a fucking cult. All you people sitting back going, oh, I love this MAGA shit. It's so great to see MAGA. We're just proving that, unlike the left, we are not a fucking cult.
Is in prison right now, and her little black book was ordered to be sealed under the court. And it has over 2,000 names of rich, powerful people and politicians in that contact list. So it's just, look, there's nothing wrong with asking these questions. There's nothing wrong with saying, we want to know more about this. And I think that's important. It's important to say I support President Trump and his administration while
You're good, John. You don't have to apologize. Look, I get upset reading comments too, man. Right? Like, I get a lot of shitty comments. Today I read through like 20 comments and everybody's like, just shut up and stop talking. I want to watch the video. And I'm like, but this is my channel. I'm going to talk. This is part of being on the internet, John. You got to be able to not get upset by random commenters talking shit. I know it's not easy. It's not easy for me either, John. It's part of life that's difficult, but you don't got to apologize. Just, try to not let the things people say in the comment section affect you, if you can.
Continuing to say we want more answers on this. That's not disloyalty. That's actually thinking for yourself, and it's actually pushing for better accountability. And that's what the American.
One thing that people were getting upset about, the clip I posted of me reacting to Alex Jones driving in his car. I sarcastically, as a joke, kind of pointed out, it wasn't that serious, that he was filming himself. He was clearly driving and holding his phone, filming himself, and with his other hand on the steering wheel. And then at some points, he literally switches hands. That's how you know he's holding his phone as he's driving. And like so many comments were like, "Oh, why do you care that he's filming?" Like, oh my God. Some of the InfoWars fans are the dumbest people in the fucking world. It's true. I'm sorry. They have they're InfoWars fans that are great. They're smart, but then there's a segment of them that are fucking dumb. And they don't ever get sarcasm. Anytime I make any little joke about Alex, they lose their shit. Like I remember when Alex shouted me out like 5 years ago with Joe Rogan. I played it back. Or no, I think it was a different video where I was playing a clip from Alex, and I was like, there was a whole meme going on at that time because Alex was getting banned off everything. And it was like the only way you can play Alex, and even Alex was saying, like, if you're going to play my clips, make sure you talk shit about me first, because that way the algorithm will let it stay. So I played the clip and I was like, I absolutely 100% condemn this man, Alex Jones. Okay, roll the clip. It was a joke even InfoWars was using. But then all the fucking comments from the InfoWars fans were like, how dare you condemn Alex Jones? It's like, you fucking people are retarded. You're retarded. My sense of humor a lot of times is sarcasm. And if you can't pick up on sarcasm, I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude.
People deserve. And I think it's incredible.
Anyway, shout out to the InfoWars fans. A lot of you are great. But some of you are retarded.
The American people are fed up with what they consider to be being lied to or told a narrative that's not true. And that's what this election was about, not only in 2016, but again in
Thank you, Matthew. If you guys haven't seen the clip I posted from yesterday's, I know the whole 2 hour, sometimes 4 hour streams, it's hard to get everything. So I'm going to try to post more clips from like the best parts. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Go help it get some views, because the Alex one did well, but then this one is like not doing well. And I'm like, why is this not doing well? This is a fucking banger clip. This NHL guy, just giant fucking gorilla beating on this dude, screaming bang every time he punches him. How is that something that people aren't clicking on? I don't know. Maybe it's just too much violence for the algorithm, so they're throttling it. I don't know. Or maybe because my Alex Jones clip is doing really well, and because that's doing well, I can't have 2 videos in a row do well. I don't know. This algorithm is hard to figure out. But go watch the clips, guys.
For the American people
and share them.
Demand that the deep state no longer control this country. The American people demand loyalty and truth and transparency, and that is the right thing to continue to search for.
Yeah, Roots. I've interviewed Alex twice. I've been to InfoWars Studios twice. I'm friends with him, and I don't want to say I'm his best friend or like whatever, but I got his number. I can reach out to him right now and talk to him. I consider them friends, like online internet friends, colleagues in a way, because I've interviewed them. But yeah, I sometimes I talk shit and try to make jokes. But every time I make a joke, it's like the most serious fucking thing in the world. It's like, dude, I'm trying to be funny too. Remember this, I'm doing news, but I'm also trying to do a little comedy while I do news, Just because I'm talking about a serious news item doesn't mean I have to be 100% serious and not make any jokes the whole time. It's like, come on, guys, fucking settle down. Okay. MTG, she's winning me back. I used to think she was a little weird, but she's winning me back. And here's more of Trump showing us why he's not trustworthy anymore. When
Bill Clinton.
He changes this much.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but I know
You're friendly. You know them.
They play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play at my clubs.
Are you saying there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
That's one question.
Sure is a much different Trump when it comes to now. When you ask him about Epstein, why would you ask me about Epstein? Don't you know my fucking? I just took a shit and now I have a hemorrhoid, and you want to ask me about Epstein? Do you understand? I'm sitting here and that hemorrhoid is causing me so much pain, and you want to talk about Epstein? Okay, dude.
Bill Clinton.
Okay, dude. Let's see what else we got here. And Ben Shapiro. It's funny. Ben Shapiro went from the biggest Trump hater, the biggest and never Trumper, and now He's all on board, boys.
However, when President Trump speaks for the American people more generally, and he says, guys, don't we have better things to do? You can understand his irritation. The man is trying to negotiate an end to a...
Dude, shave that stupid looking fucking beard, bro. It looks terrible. I know you're trying not to look like a 15-year-old kid. Tough luck. You're just always going to look like a 15-year-old little shit. But get rid of the beard. It looks terrible.
War in the Gaza Strip. He's trying to negotiate an end to a war in Ukraine. He's attempting to revivify the American economy. He's attempting to crack down on illegal immigration. On a list of American priorities by the polls, the Epstein-Maxwell case comes in pretty close to zero.
Really? I do not buy this, Mr. Shapiro. I do not buy this at all. I think it would come pretty close to at the top of the fucking list, dude.
Just on a list.
All of that's important. The border's important. Fixing the economy is important. But, he did say some things in the campaign like, I'm going to get rid of taxes for people making under, $150,000. We're going to cut the spending. All these things that's what I was voting for. I was voting for the border. I was voting for an end of the fucking abusive income taxes. And I was voting for spending cuts. And all we're getting is the border. Good job. So happy.
Of priorities.
Oh, and we got to be thankful that our taxes aren't going to go up 60%, but no real tax breaks.
However, when President Trump speaks for the American people more generally, and he says, guys, don't we have better things to do? You can understand his irritation. The man is trying to negotiate an end to a war in the Gaza Strip. He's trying to negotiate an end to a war in Ukraine. He's attempting to revivify the American economy. He's attempting to crack down on illegal immigration on a list of American priorities.
And he can't walk and chew gum. So apparently, okay, yeah, he can do all that. Maybe go fire Bondi, fire Patel, fire Bongino, and bring in 3 new people and say, look, they screwed this up. We need to go through this again. The American people deserve answers. We're going to redo this. My bad. And while they do that, I'll get back to working on these other things. That's it. He's Trump. He can do that. He's a president. He can assign other people to take care of it. He doesn't have to do everything himself, Ben Shapiro.
By the polls, the Epstein-Maxwell case comes in pretty close to zero, just on a list of priorities.
How do I even fact check that? Is there a poll that says that? Is he going off a poll that says Epstein's at the bottom? I mean, you can see the way everybody's reacting and his entire MAGA base, people who would defend Trump pretty much 100% for everything, are all of a sudden turning on him. So from that evidence that I'm seeing from the way MAGA itself is reacting, that does not seem true. But okay, Ben, I'm sure you have some data I don't have. I'm sure. All right, we're going to call it. We'll end it here. In what, 2.5 hours? How long have I been on? 2.5 hours. That's good. We'll be back on tomorrow. We'll save some stuff for tomorrow. Thank you guys, everybody, for supporting. I think we got over 100 likes. What did we get to? 128. That's great, guys. Smash up that like on the way out. Or no, don't smash it. Be nice to it. Just, massage it. Give it a little back rub on the way out, okay? Thank you, guys. It's been a fun one. Hopefully you guys had fun. And look out for the clips. Go check my channel. I'm posting clips now from these episodes, trying to find the best spots. And hopefully I should have a clip every day. I'll have a clip and a live stream. So look out for that. And share it out there. Get it. Help get it seen by more people. Much love, everybody. We will see you on the next episode. And I think Green Juice was asking for, well, thank you, Wilford. It's okay, Wilford. You can watch it.
Super chatted $2. Damn, I missed
Scroll
it.
back. You can scroll back and watch the video on demand, bro. But thank you for the $2. Oh, fuck. What was I going to say? There's the thing about when Rogan yells at me, my mind goes blank. I forget everything I'm talking about. Once Rogan fucking comes at me, he goes, "Rawr!" All right, guys. I'm going to work on another members outro or a member shout out video that's similar to this one. This one right here. Anyway, I'm going to work on another one of those for the members, okay? I can't guarantee how quick it'll be done because I have a million fucking things on my plate. Not just this, but like personal life shit, taking care of my dad and all that. I'm pretty fucking busy away from this, so forgive me if some things take a while. But yeah, I'll work on that too. So become a member, you'll get a shout out. Much love, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for everybody for the support. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's Here's some other videos to watch that you might like, or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.
Hey, thanks for joining, Wilford. You rock, bro. Welcome to the team. See you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.